Back after in the biz, it's a dangler.
Got the dangler already?
It's my mic, guys. Not anything
All right.
else. That's my mic.
You're not Willie.
So we got Tim and Ed here tonight. First team's here tonight.
Yeah.
With the starters, the bench warmers are only here tonight. So anyway, tonight as usual, we'll talk about good, bad, and ugly as we talk about every week. Also, talk a little about the NFL. It's getting close. About the running backs, maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe that's coming up. We never know. And also a little Major League Baseball. Starting to be that time of year where we're starting to figure out who the best teams are and the worst teams are, buyers, sellers. That's coming up, I think, August 1st, I believe.
Yeah.
So let's start off with how we always start. How was your guys' past 2 weeks? We'll start with that. How was your past 2 weeks?
Well, a couple weeks ago, it's been 2 weeks, so it was the previous Friday. I was coming home from work. I was working out in the county, so I was coming in and it got about to the interstate, and I realized I was a part of the world's largest gay bar. Oh, jeez. And as I pulled up...
music? Yeah.
What is it?
So I pulled up and I looked, and here's all this leather everywhere. Guys in leather boots, leather hats, leather jackets, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Yeah. And I figured out it was a gay bar called Ukes.
Oh, wow.
It was the Harley Fest. But yeah, it was kind of funny because there were just bikes everywhere, leather and guys everywhere.
Now we're out of the 45 to 60 demographic for sure for males.
Yeah, it was 120th anniversary of Harley, so.
Yeah, I figured that out afterwards. I came out and ripped my pants out, like when I got the pullaways. I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah. I worked 100, so I know all about that.
Well, it was a 5-year. They're going to do it every year now.
Yeah,
it used to be a 5-year thing. Now it's going to be every year from now on.
Yeah, because they're making money. That's why. Yeah, absolutely.
Ching.
Yeah, they mean.
Yeah, good for them. It's
right.
Didn't hear anything. I'm sure people got arrested for disorderly and stuff like that, but nothing.
I didn't see anything really bad.
Well,
we were having trouble when we were on the north side of Milwaukee, is getting home from work.
Traffic
was horrible.
Closed off.
They were shutting everything down. I think on what the Hone Bridge was shut down. All the bikes were parked on. That was kind of a cool picture when I saw that.
That's what it was over by Ukes. The whole frontage road was shut down.
Yeah, me and my dad were out there. We had to go around, but whatever.
That's when I got all excited. I was like, oh, finally a party for Ed. I'll take 3 sausages.
Was that the movie was the song Music from Police Academy?
Yeah.
Was that called the Blue Oyster?
Blue Oyster Club.
Yeah, Blue Oyster Club.
Awesome.
Tim, how was your last 2 weeks?
Last 2 weeks were really good. Last weekend, went to the 51st annual Rotary softball tournament for the first time in, I want to say, like 5-10 years. So it was kind of cool, like reliving past glory, being hungover Saturday morning, playing at 8 a.m. Seeing how much the game's changed and how there isn't as many people or teams as there used to be, like when we played. Yeah. Having to put in that old man back when we played.
Half the guys we played with are dead now.
Well, that's the funny thing is like you're hearing these names and stuff. I'm like, I played with your dad. I played with your dad. No, your mom.
That night at Sunnyside.
Yeah, I went to Sunnyside after, and it was a fun weekend. I went to Rip Fest. So I've been at every Rip Fest in Elkhorn the last few years. Rode the Tilt-A-Whirl for the first time in my life. So 52 years old, finally got on a Tilt-A-Whirl.
Nice.
Yeah, that sounds like something.
Yeah, that's scary though. The Tilt-A-Whirl. It's like the teacups, isn't it?
Yeah, where you like
of the carny world.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't think our operator was tweaked at all.
Yeah, what's the one beyond tweaked? What's the next level?
Drunk. I don't know. He just looked ragged. Like he was probably like 22 and he looked like he was like 52. So yeah.
A cup with a vodka pourer on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's only doing one shot at a time.
Yeah.
17 shots.
Measures out the shots as they come out.
Yeah, I went to the Milkman game last night, which was a fucking boatload of fun. I went to Lux.
Yeah.
Milkman. I went to Lux, hit some golf balls with the boys, and I want to find out where to get that Echo Cooler, man. Like that.
Echo Cooler.
Yeah.
Eagle Park,
yeah.
Correct? Excellent.
One of the best beers I've had this year.
It was sour, but it wasn't sour.
No.
It was it was good.
It was delicious.
It was delicious.
And this morning I thought I drank like 5 of those things, 4 of those things, plus the 2 other ones I had earlier, and I thought I'd wake up this morning maybe like kind of feeling like No, I
Right.
felt fine.
Yeah.
Like not hungover, but just kind of gut rot, or
Right.
maybe just having a little headache because of the sweet. But no, felt
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, because you know
A
why?
little tired, but that's about
Right.
it.
We weren't going to be hungover because when we went outside, it was only 34 fucking degrees
Yeah.
outside. Dude,
Well,
it was cold.
Luckily, we had the early tea time though.
Yeah,
that was
we
cool.
had the early tea time this morning.
Before
You
the
know,
heat came, so that was good.
yeah, missed the hot weather today, so it was nice and cool.
Glenn-
Almost broke 90. It was this close.
Really?
Glenn made his graduation today, right
Yeah.
on time.
Yeah.
Perfect. Or his graduation party.
Yeah, graduation party.
So it worked out good.
You didn't have to help. That's why you made it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
How was your week, Scott?
Good. Golfed a bunch. No, not a bunch.
Oh,
a
you
few
already
times.
started? Oh, did you start?
No, I didn't start.
Okay,
I
I'm
just,
sorry.
yeah, no.
You can go twice.
Yeah.
I
sure.
golfed.
it's
I
his
golfed
support
today.
week.
I had a tough front nine today. Didn't putt well at all.
Ugh.
Yeah. Back nine go better, way
Yeah.
better.
Oh,
I
yeah,
had a
way
real,
better.
real nice back nine. So shot 98 today, but not. I've got to be around 91, 92, 93, somewhere in there. But it is what it is. Had a good time though.
Yeah.
Saw an old guy, a guy I used to play softball against, Rick Stummer today.
Right.
Good guy, nice guy,
Yeah.
good golfer, hits the ball pretty well.
Yeah.
Solid golfer. So, yeah.
Taught Glenn some lessons today, so his game kind of turned around. a
Yeah,
little
actually,
bit.
Stummer shot 89 with a 7 on the last hole.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he should have shot 86. So he had
Who did?
Stummer, Rick
Oh,
Stummer. Yeah.
Stummer.
Yeah.
Hits the ball pretty well. He's not a very big guy, but he's got a good swing. He's solid. Nice guy too.
Yeah. I don't think
The Milkman game, I agree, was a great time. I do that again. Lux, I sold me on it. I think I do. If you've never been Top Golf, we should do it.
Right.
But once you do Top Golf, you'll probably just go there from now on
Right.
because they're both just as much fun.
Gotcha.
But this one's just closer.
Right.
That's the only reason I'm saying. That's it. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
I got 2 skins yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Don't even know how to swing a club.
Right.
I got lucky.
It also put a hole in the roof.
He did.
Right.
First
So
guy.
did Glenn.
So go ahead. Yeah.
First guy to hit the roof on a drive.
I didn't surprise I didn't hit it. I thought I was
Right.
coming for sure, but it didn't. So.
I still thought it was funny when she given us instructions, and the last one was, "Please don't jump off the balcony."
Yeah, my golf game was so bad enough coming in. I wasn't even worried about it.
Yeah.
You guys, no, that's another thing. You know.
It was a great time. Cool little area. That pizza place. Went to that sausage place right next door.
Right.
You guys, I
My
didn't eat
tongue
anything.
still burned from that sausage.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I got a hot sausage.
yeah, but they had Italian. They had dogs. They had burgers.
Yeah,
Glenn had a burger.
sliders. The
You had a
burger
slider.
the sliders were excellent.
Ed had Italian sauce with some pastrami,
Yep.
and mozzarella on it.
Yeah, they called it the Fonz.
Yeah, everything looked
But
awesome.
it
How
squirted.
were the onion rings?
First bite is onion rings are great. Ask Timmy.
Yeah, onion rings were really good.
Yeah, they were good.
Super good.
I should have got some of those. But anyway, I'll go again.
Yeah.
But yeah, they built it up place really nice. It's a
Yeah.
real nice area down there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. Had a good couple weeks. So we're back to talk some nonsense again tonight. So let's start off with the good, bad, and ugly. Brought to you by Ecto Cooler, Eagle Park tonight. Where the green is mean. We'll say it wasn't mean at all. But I will. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll get to that later. So let's go good, bad, and ugly. Let's let Tim start tonight.
All right.
Tim, you start. You pick. You want to start with the good,
We'll
the
do the
bad,
good.
or the good.
And we're going
Okay.
to keep continuing on with last night's festivities. So I just have 2 words: sweet teats.
Is that on your list?
Oh, of course.
That was great.
Kept saying sweet teeth. It's the best thing in the world.
All the kids are like, "I want sweet teats." It's like, who doesn't?
Right.
Jeez.
So, yeah, that was the rally cry for the milkman last night, and we could not stop smiling and laughing every time we heard that.
Yeah, sweet teeth.
Sweet teats.
Was it? Yeah, sweet teeth.
Yeah. So that's my good.
Yeah, there were. I'll tell you what, that was a fairly decent level of baseball. It was a higher level than like our local.
No, I
Kingfish.
swear I saw more home runs from that game last night. I've seen it in all
Ever.
Kingfish games I've been
Dude,
to.
the first one that dude hit,
That guy hit.
crushed it.
Oh, that was easily like
It was
420 to
ridiculous.
430,
Right.
easy.
Right.
Cleared the like the.
Oh yeah, it
the
was
batters thing out there.
It was the batter's eye type.
Yeah.
It was a bomb. And
And he was just trotting, and we're watching. I'm like, so we're used to going to these Kingfish game, and it's a wood bed. It sounded great. You're
Right.
like, it's gonna be caught.
Right.
That ball was out by 40 feet.
Right.
It was a bomb.
Yeah, he flushed it.
he flushed it. Too high. Nope, not
Nope.
too high. No.
That was the second one.
Well,
Actually,
that's pretty high.
Yeah.
I think that's out. Yeah, it's out.
yeah, and the same guy hit 2 home runs
Yeah.
that we saw, and
Yeah.
both were legit.
yeah, they were good balls.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty fun. Thank you, Glenn, for
Yeah.
taking
Thank
us.
you, Glenn.
Yeah.
Fun time. So yeah.
So my good is Sal Frelick's debut last night,
Yeah.
and just baseball in general too. His launch angle and exit velocity would probably rank outside the top 3,000 in baseball. He's just hitting little dribblers and like some line drives, but that's baseball now. It looks like baseball again.
Get on base.
Right.
He made 2 nice plays in the
Yeah, I heard he
outfield,
made
running
2 great
down.
nice
What does he do? Gets on base.
Yep. Gets on base. Baseball has changed. Luis Arias. Now you see a guy like Sal Frelick. These are guys like Dykstra and Brett Butler and Fernando Vina that they create energy and chaos on the bases.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it for years. I know the shift was tough to beat because these pitchers were so accurate. But these guys are just smacking the ball around and beating out infield hits and stealing bases. And the rules are conducive now to run.
Yeah.
They're not allowing you to throw over more. What
stolen
is it, twice?
base is up like 73%.
Because after the second one, you can't go over, so it's a timing thing now.
Right.
All it is. Because you throw over again, it's automatic base, or you got to pick them off, so it's over. You can't go again, and it's kind of falls in the advantage of the base runner.
Oh, for sure.
Obviously. So, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's created like the game we grew up watching.
Yeah. Yep.
The Pete Rose slapping the ball around, or even the Wade Boggs. Just there's guys like that now out there, and you're going to start seeing more guys coming out of the minors. Even Horner for the Cubs. The guy's not his launch angles. He ain't hitting bombs or nothing.
Yeah, he is.
He's hitting some. I mean, don't get me, but he's not.
He's hitting line drives.
Exactly.
Right.
That's exactly what we did. We were brought up hitting line drives, keep the ball on the ground, make them play the ball, and then that disappeared to this launch angle and exit velocity. Where guys are hitting 180 with 31 home runs.
But getting on base.
Getting on base. I agree.
My good. I have another one. I had two of them. It was Ecto Cooler and Teats.
Okay.
But obviously those are out the window.
Right. Sorry.
So I'm going to go with Brian Harmon today.
Yes.
Winning the Open Championship, the United States, boy from the United States. His first, obviously,
first
major.
First win too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. 6-shot win. 13 under today. So over the pond, he won his first major. And congratulations to Brian Harmon from the USA.
Nice.
And another thing about him, big hunter. He's a big, he hunts.
Is he Butch Harmon's kid too?
He may be.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good call. Butch Harmon.
He's a little guy. He's only like 5'7".
He was Tigers coach, obviously, for years.
Right.
Or swing coach, they recall now. Fancy names.
Yeah, he's big into turkey hunting, deer hunting. And he takes some shit for it because everybody on the Twitters and the Instagrams, why are you eating animals? And it's like because they're so delicious.
Yeah.
Why would you want to eat something that isn't an animal?
I was watching.
Maybe, it's a garnish.
I was watching a show the other day on Diners, Drives, and Dives. I was watching, and he was at a place. They made a hot dog, but it was like it was a fusion place, so it was maybe Asian or something. But they took pork belly and pork snouts, and they boiled them, grinded them, and put them on a hot dog with some seasoning. I mean, it looked good, so snout things in it. But then, like 2 minutes later, the snout thing, okay, it's ground up and okay. But then the next one, they made a vegan burger, and it was like lentils, and I'll take the snouts. I'm fine with the snouts.
Yeah,
they are not related.
Okay. Hey, good call though. I kind of would make sense.
Yeah, it makes. Yeah.
So how about your bad, Tim? This week, bad.
My bad is actually taking off of your bad the last 2 weeks ago. Like bad in a good way, where talking about the Open. Can't call it the British Open because they call it the Open because they're British.
Cheerio. Top of the morning too. That's not the right thing, but keep going. I can keep going all day.
Right.
Put another shit on the Barbie.
So the Open basically trolled Brooks Koepka and paired him with Patrick Cantlay for the Thursday-Friday pairing.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you know, but Koepka has criticized Cantlay for his slow play in the past and basically insinuated that was part of the reason why he fell apart during the Masters because he kept having to wait for Cantlay to finish the hole in front of him. So the Open trolled Koepka by pairing him up on Thursday and Friday. So I thought that was very bad in a good way.
Who does Koepka get along with?
I guess along with a lot of people,
Because
really.
DeChambeau wants to choke. Nah, they get along enough. But yeah. You hear it then, and I heard Koepka's a pretty decent guy.
Yeah,
so,
he's well liked. I mean,
yeah. Well, like I said, when I watched did you watch it ever on Netflix? The golf
Driven, right?
Yeah, Driven.
No, what was that called? The golf was it called Driven?
I thought it was
the 8-part series or 7-part series.
I thought
it was called Putter.
Putter.
No, maybe it was Driven.
It wasn't Sweet Cheats.
No, Sweet Teats.
Or bonus hole.
No,
that was a playoff.
Yeah.
So are we on bad?
Yeah, bad. You're bad. You're good, Tim. Your bad's good. You're done with your
I'm
bad.
done with that.
Your bad's good.
It was good though. His bad was.
All right, my bad is Dickie V has vocal cord cancer, baby. Better get a TO. 7 weeks of radiation therapy. Poor Dickie V.
Wow.
No, it's his second time with
Yeah,
cancer. Yeah.
Hope he beats it again. He's like 80, isn't he?
84. I think.
Yeah, he's up there.
Full swing is the.
Full swing. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I think German was like the F1 one or something. Like seriously, I'm not being funny.
German was the F1
like
one.
F1 or like yeah.
And Dickie V's friend of the show before we had the show. So
Okay. My bad is, and we'll talk about this later, but I'll put it as my bad to start, and we'll get the topic out later. But NFL running backs right now, holdouts and what's going on in the NFL with that. We'll talk about it a bit. We'll move on to ugly. Let's move to ugly right now. Let's go to ugly. But the running backs, we'll put a pin in that, as they say in the business. Put a pin in that. So you're ugly, Tim.
My ugly is the Suns fans overreacting to the sighting of apparently their franchise savior, Bol. So they're, Twitter went wild with, the dawn of a new dynasty because, having Bol in their starting five is going to make them unbeatable. Dude's a free agent for a reason. Playing for Orlando, he can get me burned with. So, these fans are just unreal. Like, okay, their starting five could be the best in the NBA, but who's on their bench? Who's going to play point guard? There's a lot of answers for them. I just think they're grossly overreacting. So that's my ugly for the week is the Suns fans going nuts.
that's true. Yeah, mine is I left my heart in San Francisco. Tony Bennett died at 96. There's an 8-foot tall bronze statue of him in front of the Fairmont Hotel.
Yeah, I
in
see
San
it.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
No,
that's the wrong one. Sorry.
That's the guy I had the sausage with, the Fonz.
Yeah.
You had a sausage last night.
Yeah. So he's a San Francisco legend.
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
Great
so-
voice. What's his the Velvet Crooner or the Velvet Fog?
I think it was called the Driven Fog.
Oh, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
Velvet Fog. He was called.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. He did have it. He was a good. He was entertaining. That's what
And,
he was.
and another guy that reinvented his career later in life.
Oh, yeah, he did some duets. Like
Right.
Dolly Parton's doing it right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you listened to that at all?
Huh?
Have you listened at all that album?
The rock album?
Yeah.
I've heard a couple songs.
Is it solid?
Yeah.
I got to check that out. I haven't a chance yet. I want to
Yeah.
check it out.
Sinatra said of Tony Bennett, "For my money, Tony Bennett's the best singer in the business. He excites me when I watch him. He moves me. He's the singer who gets across what the composer has in mind, and probably more."
Frank Sinatra was my hammer when he said that.
I know he's right. I just got done doing.
He's like, "What about me?" See, it was like, "Dunk."
Yeah, Marilyn, get off of me! I gotta tell. Oh,
Whoa.
party!
Foul.
Is it a party foul?
I don't know.
I think it was traveling.
So my ugly is and I'm taking a different course in this after I read some things today, kind of better perspective. So the Miranda Lambert fiasco last week in Vegas. Miranda Lambert stopped her show to scold 5 women doing a selfie in the front row. Like they all got together and were taking a picture with her behind them singing.
Okay.
Now this went on for not like it wasn't quick. It was a good 30. It was not like a quick get up, take a picture. And at first I'm like, I was siding with the people in the audience. I said, yeah, that's kind of crappy there. Miranda Lambert, she got paid. That's not her job to tell people that they can't do that. But then when I look at you look at it from a different angle, and I'm glad we didn't do a show last week or earlier because I probably would have been all over.
Right.
And I look at it this way. Now, those seats are $700 seats, which someone said, well, she can do what she wants in that seat. Well, not necessarily, because in that they have a strict policy of no flash photography.
Right.
They were flash photography.
Oh, okay.
This woman is an influencer on social media, so all she's doing to make money on her influencing.
So it's her job as well.
And
to
her
be a
second thing was
bitch.
5 women, and their argument was, well, we're women she treated us like children. We're women ranging from 35 to 60. And I say to this, you should know better.
Yes.
You're adults. And the other thing is, the people behind you pay $700 too. While you're standing up during the show,
Right.
I know you can still see her, but you're making a spectacle of yourself. And I'm trying to watch a show that I pay $700 also to watch too. So and they said that some guy put a whole thing. There's a view and it's the stage and all that. So all these people sitting from this angle could see this going on, these flashes and stuff, while they're trying to watch their show they paid for also. So I'm not defending. And Miranda Lambert probably could have handled it better because security should have probably walked over and said, "Sit down." It should have been her job to do it. Number one.
Right.
But I'm kind of neutral. I'm kind of switching in here. I think they're both were done what they did for it But I think I'm gonna maybe go with Miranda Lambert's side because she was kind of right in the situation because they shouldn't be doing that.
No.
So what you're saying is, if there weren't any women at the show, including Miranda Lambert, it would have been a nice show. Wouldn't have had all this controversy.
Yeah.
No, I agree, because you get to a show. I mean, how many shows have we been to? Remember at that one show we were standing up and girls were flashing the stage?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, come on. I don't want to see those beautiful boobs.
Yeah. One was on my shoulder, so I didn't want that.
Yeah, one that was from 3 rows away. They were some floppy ass boobs.
I was like, I know they're giving away sandbags. Oh my God.
Those were
that
sweet.
sandbag has a nipple.
I was going to turn the channel.
Those weren't sweet.
Those were the second grossest boobs I've ever seen. That pair behind us. But
yes.
They were pretty bad.
They winked at me too. It was weird.
The ones up in the upper deck, because those ladies can't afford to be up front like where we were.
Yeah.
Those were some good ones. They already had invested money in their boobs, so they couldn't afford the tickets.
Good old Rodney Carrington.
Yeah, Rodney Carrington.
I'm a fan of him.
Can we go around again? I mean, it was 2 weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Pick some.
You got any more goods?
Good, bads, or uglies?
Well, one of my goods would be Joe Girardi being considered for the Northwestern baseball head coach job.
Okay.
He's a Northwestern guy,
I hate
though,
to
right?
stop this, but we talked about Northwestern, but a lot happened since then about this.
Right.
Fitzgerald did lose his job as the baseball coach, as you alluded to. He's lost his job too now. And
Is it the same thing?
And I guess players are coming out now, like out of the woodwork, and saying, blah blah blah. Yes, this happened and all this, and it's just a total like.
It sounds like it doesn't sound like just a football team. It sounds like a sports team.
Like an athletic department problem at this point.
It's embedded in their culture.
Yeah, that's
systemic running.
It's funny that you say that because some journalism students have come out and said that they were hazed as well in journalism school.
Next comes Michael Wilbon and Greeny.
Right.
They're going to be talking about it next because they both went there.
Right.
Well, there's tons of famous people that went to Northwestern.
There was a Deadspin article too. I should have saved it. I might have saved it, but talking about how Wilbon's in a position of what's the right word? I'm sorry.
Like power?
Well, he's on the board. He's on the board at Northwestern.
Like a trustee type guy.
Well,
right.
Be and he's a
reporter, and he didn't come out with anything. Like he didn't report anything. Like conflict of interest.
Oh, like he wouldn't do an expose on it because he's like, I can't touch my school.
He shouldn't anyways because it's his school.
Well, but here's the thing.
Because they would say, here's what happened. Even if he did expose, they'd say, well, he's being easy on him anyway.
I'm going to use an example. If Michael Wilbon knew, I'm just going to guess because he went to Northwestern. He's a reporter. He's on ESPN. I'm not. And let's take Greeny instead. I'll take Greeny. Greeny went there too, and he might have had insight, but he's on the board. But if Michael Wilbon had a story on Donald Trump and he was involved in Northwestern, he wouldn't get the story on Donald Trump. This was protecting the school because he had people, because he was friends with these guys. He probably Fitzgerald, their buddies, the coach, they're all buddies there. And it's the good old boys club, and it's not only a white thing. Remember that. It's not a white. Good old boys.
Not white.
Good old boys does not mean just white guys, or it's everybody. And when you get in those situations, all the coaches are part of that. Not one coach stepped up, and not one coach, and they said those coaches are going to keep their jobs. No, everybody should lose their job from top to bottom. It's not even Fitzgerald.
I can't believe the athletic director is still there.
Did they keep the coach at Penn State? They got rid of all those guys. They were gone. Yeah, so you got to get rid of all those guys, and that's a problem with this. Is that with the Michael Wilbon thing, it's protecting something that he would have no problem if it was anybody else. And Trump's a bad example, but if it would have been something at Iowa, if it would have been who's the coach? Kurt. That's been there for years. Yeah, if you got a story on him, you tell that story right away.
Oh yeah,
because it's not his school.
Right.
Yeah. He should have got off the board.
Right.
I dropped my spot and I'm writing a story about the school. You guys are screwed because this ain't right.
Right.
But these are also 18, 19-year-old kids, and I hate to say this, but it's funny. I've had 18-year-old kids, and I mean you have one, and the thing about it, 18-year-olds know everything they want to apply. So it's weird. They get to these situations, they don't know everything all of a sudden. You think they'd be like,
this is wrong,
fuck this. They have no problem telling me or you that you're wrong. Yeah. But they go to these schools and right away
they can tell me about my geopolitical, socioeconomic
problem. This is okay though. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem I have. It's like they're young, but they're 18, 19. They should have because why
aren't they gluing their hands to the cement out in front of Northwestern?
If my kid came home and told me from the school, I'd march right down there and say, what's going on? If they blackballed, I might go find someone that would fight this for me.
Right.
Yeah, but
you a scholarship.
Again, as a parent, you'd go in there pissed off, but you would be rational enough to okay, what happened?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about
Are we
it?
going to stop this? Or
What are we?
Yeah.
You know, what are the next steps
Yeah.
are you taking?
Yeah.
You wouldn't just start going there screaming and just throwing shit. And
Yeah, but it's weird that only.
and that's what they do now too.
It's weird that baseball and the football are done, but obviously basketball. Is Collins still the coach for basketball there?
Who?
Collins?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what's happening next, but like you said, the whole the Michael Wilbon thing's interesting. I like Michael. I'm a fan of Michael Wilbon. I love him because he's a Chicago fan, and he goes on there. He a lot of the same opinions for the Chicago sports he has. I mean, he's a Cubs fan. He's a Bears fan, but he's very he's very realistic. So I do like him, but I feel bad because he did put him in a bad situation for him if he comes out. Because really, he I guess does he really know what's going on? I mean, he's only on the board. Does he go to the?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know. So I guess I can't pin. But if they're saying he did know,
did he play?
No, he was just a journalism major. That's all he
Sure,
was. I don't think he was a sport. Maybe he played in high school or something, but I don't think he was.
He's actually a baseball player in high school.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wilbon?
That is first baseman.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Well, he's got to be 60.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say I played a lot
No,
down
he's,
there. I was
he's
like,
older. He's way older.
I keep running in these guys that get famous. It's like I think I played against
Because
that
him
guy.
and Cornhouse are about the same age, I'm guessing.
Oh, he's an old man.
Yeah, they're about the same
Cornhuskers
age.
in his 70s.
But he looks old.
Yeah.
Wilbon looks good for his age.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Ain't crazy.
Cornhusker looks like fucking Wilson.
No, Wilson looks older. So yeah, that was you brought the Northwestern thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was interesting.
bad.
That was bad. I got a good. I learned something new yesterday. Something
my
that
good
I'd
was
never.
Girardi going to Northwestern. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, that's what he started.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
Girardi, right.
Yeah.
I learned some comedic thing I'd never seen before. Massive head wound Harry. Saturday, I just watched a little bit. I didn't have
How
time.
funny is it?
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Right.
Saturday Night Live when they would do
Funny skits.
yeah, boy,
Wow, that was interesting.
when we were watching in the car, I couldn't hear it real well because we were four guys talking, you know, and then it's like he comes walking in, turns his head and half his head's missing, and Farley's like, oh no, oh no!
Massive head wound Harry. Great thing. If you don't get it, look it up.
Dana Carvey.
Dana Carter, look it up. It's one of the
Classic.
it's one of the funnier.
Oh,
It's an obscure Saturday Night Live, but it's
Yeah.
one of the funnier ones. It really is.
I
It's
agree.
just off the wall.
It was off the wall. So that was my good.
I have another good. I have a good. Mike Rainbow Trout at the game last night, eating a man and spitting him out with his underwear on.
That was awesome.
What are those things called?
What
What are they called?
Farm Stars.
Something.
Yeah, they're big people. They're big inflatables that are real floppy.
Right.
So
Yeah.
people know what I'm talking about. They're usually dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But they would come out every inning. Hey, wait, the thing about the Milkmen too, very much like if you do a minor league game or a Kingfish game, if you're from this area, it's the same entertainment value in between innings. It's cheesy, but it's entertaining, something to watch,
Yeah.
keep you
And I'm
interested.
gonna guess these inflatables move from town to town.
yeah,
doing
because
these-
I've seen a Bucks game before.
Oh,
With
really?
Different ones, yeah, but the big Bucks one they have.
I mean, they got like made up Rodman ones.
Yeah,
Nomar Garcia Parra.
Right.
Yeah.
Serena Williams as a seal.
yeah.
Tim Tebow.
Yeah, Tebow. I forgot
Yeah,
that as a bull.
Tebow, yeah. But yeah, the Trout actually ate a guy and then spit him out with his underwear on. It was pretty.
Yeah, it was funny.
We
They're
laughed.
all pretty cool.
Yeah, we laughed. We had a good
Right.
time. We had a good time. So yeah, I'll give that a good. I'll give the entertainment at the Milkman game overall in between was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Entertaining. It was cheesy, but
Yeah,
kept you
they
entertained.
didn't like push toilets around because you go to the Kingfish game here in Kenosha. It's a low level summer league, you know.
Mhm.
It's entertaining, but it's the same shtick over and over.
Yeah.
The pushing the toilets around. The kid hits the ball. It goes 4 freaking inches. They throw it out into the outfield. Then they throw it into the other outfield. Then they throw it off the front of the dugout. And then the kid runs over the catcher.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Every time, you know, it's like, come on, come up with something new. The first year they had that stupid Elvis swinging in from the freaking outfield pole coming down
They do it anymore?
on the
Zip
zip
line?
line. Yeah, I
They
haven't
don't do it
seen it.
anymore.
No, I
They
haven't
might
seen
have lost the insurance for that.
Yeah, I guarantee.
Uh,
The best one I saw the first year was a monkey with a cowboy hat on riding a dog chasing goats in the outfield. It was freaking phenomenal.
I must have had it going before that game.
Right.
Dude,
How
this
many dead
dog.
shows have you been to?
I've been to a few. I had one of Willie's gummies again.
And it's like, you guys see that monkey on that dog? No.
No.
What are you talking about? He's right there.
It was awesome. It was
Uh.
chasing like those goats around the outfield. Those weird looking. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, I have an ugly.
So do I.
So I don't know if you guys have heard about the arrest of Arizona, or was it Phoenix Coyotes forward Alex? God, I'm gonna fucking butcher this name. Galchenyuk.
Okay.
He was arrested for well, they were passed out in a vehicle, and then he threatened the police officers. With referencing his Russian connections.
Yeah,
about how
he's
he's
taken care of. Yeah.
How he would take care of the officers' families if he got arrested.
So he's going to be out of the NHL.
Yeah,
that's going to be the end of his career.
Yeah. So the Coyotes, wisely, with all the bullshit they're dealing with right now with the arena and shit, terminated his contract. And
yeah, he's never going to see another contract if you're threatening people's families and in public.
Right.
The one I got is almost. I mean, there were a couple other. I think like Claiborne got arrested for something.
Right.
And somebody's dad shot a bald eagle in Philadelphia.
Huh.
Some player's dad, and I'm trying to think of who it was. He was a 7th round pick, and he shot a bald eagle, and he's facing a bunch of fines and
that's
stuff.
a big deal.
Yeah, but the one I have is Kevin Costner, who's worth $400 million. And Costner just did, what was that, Yellowstone, though? Or
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Yeah. And he's had a lot of bad stuff come out of it. I mean, he's made some really weird comments, about political stuff. So he's getting divorced. His wife's much younger.
Yes,
but he's got a bunch of young kids with, like 3 young kids with her.
Mm-hmm.
They are fighting right now over kitchen utensils, a dog bed, and a blue and white umbrella. That's how petty everything is.
Well, I think the story was that she messed around with one of his friends.
She should give her the goddamn.
How do you mess around with Kevin Costner?
I don't know.
He's 70 years old, isn't he? Or
still fucking hot.
68. He probably can't get a boner.
And he loves baseball too.
Yeah.
I know.
Baseball fan.
He's been.
But
the last couple of years, he's been.
But I can see maybe that's why the pettiness is like, screw you, whatever.
Right.
You're not gonna, because
right. I get it.
I mean, I love Costner.
It was a guy. I think the story was somebody that moved in with them. It was a friend that had moved in, and then they got close. That's what they said. Yeah. So, but that doesn't. Yeah, being petty like that in court. But he's got the money. Wants to blow his money on court.
Right.
To battle over a towel or a mixer or whatever. Right. Yeah, whatever. I mean,
she spent $100,000 of child support on plastic surgery, and she wants the ownership of the saucepans in the dog's bed.
Fuck.
Instead of just giving it to her and calling it, I mean, he's gonna fight it, but whatever.
Right.
Those are bigger problems than I have.
Right. Yeah, saucepans.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd just be like, here they are, throw them out in the road.
I'll see McDonald's the rest of my life.
Right. See, my whole thing is like, I don't want any of that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna remember
to me. You can fucking keep it. That's fucking less shit. I have to unpack or pack out.
My wife used to use. My wife, who banged the guy that lived in her house, used to make spaghetti in that pan.
Yeah.
I wonder if he ate her spaghetti.
After sex spaghetti.
And he touched her bonus hole.
How about Michael Jordan getting $3 million from the sale of the Hornets? Or $3 billion, not $3 million. Sold the Hornets. He will not be an owner in the NFL or NBA. So Michael Jordan has sold him for $3 billion. I'm sure he's gonna not get it all, but he was the majority owner of the team. So let's see where he moves next. Let's see what his next move is. How about ownership of the Bulls?
Ooh. I don't want him either.
I'd take it. At least he tried to do something. Might not be right, but at least he'd do it.
Yeah. I can see.
Sometimes a bad move is better than no move at all. Look at it. You think about it.
Well, how bad they've been.
Well, the Bulls make moves, but they're not. They're just
bad.
Well, they're lateral moves. They're making moves. I mean, you talked about it. They just make these moves that are like.
Right. They do nothing. They're treading water.
Last year, when that guy, the new GM came in,
right.
He did a great job getting. They had already had Levine. And then he grabbed DeRozan. I'm like, okay, this is good building blocks. Nice. They had a good year. And they didn't add to it though. They just thought we're going to stay in pat coming in. Being the 7th or 6th seed and 8th seed, we're cool with this. When you need one more, like a Lillard, or make a push for someone that can.
They need it. Well, they need a star power.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Levine's a good player. DeRozan's a good player. I like.
I was gonna say they think it's gonna be Zach Levine.
What hurt them last year though?
Well, they had Vucevic too, don't they?
Yeah. What hurt them was losing Ball.
Yeah, Ball was becoming a great player.
Yeah.
So what does DeRozan play? Is he a forward?
He's a 2 guard.
Yeah,
He's a 2.
He
so what's Levine then?
He plays 3, 2.
And so's Ball though.
Ball's a
point guard.
Ball
Yeah.
runs the point.
So there's 3 guards or 3
Which
top
in
players
this
are all
new
guards.
NBA, it
Yeah,
doesn't
there's
matter.
positional.
It
So you
doesn't
think they're
matter.
just moving them up? Yeah,
I don't think it matters.
I agree.
That's what we're talking about. Like we talk about, like
And then they got Vucevic in the center.
we were talking a few weeks ago, and I don't know who was here. Maybe I was talking about it with somebody, and I said, oh, "That'd be awesome." The Bucks got Lillard. Well, they have to get rid of Drew Holiday. No, they don't. I mean, they might have to if they.
Right.
But why would they have to get rid of him?
Move him to the point.
Yeah, no. Let
Or
Lillard play the two.
let him to the shooting.
Yeah, let Lillard play the two.
Yeah,
You know what?
exactly.
It's okay. Other guys bring the ball. This ain't
Right.
1940.
Right.
It's over. Those days are over in basketball.
Right.
Yeah, Giannis is playing the point half the time.
I mean,
anyways.
that ended when Scottie Pippen started bringing the ball.
Yep.
That's when it ended.
Point forward. Yeah.
Yep. They changed the game. Scottie Pippen, Puff, and Phil Jackson. They changed the game in that aspect. They really did. But yeah, so I MJ making some money.
The other one I had was Jacksonville Jaguars defensive back Chris Claybrooks was arrested again for a domestic. Second time in a year. Last time he had a domestic, smashing a woman's phone and causing injury. She dropped the charges against him though. So, and then bought a brand new car, probably. So this is another domestic for him. Two in 1 year now. Well, since April. So, how long is he going to be in the league?
Yeah, I have one more too.
I mean, I
don't
it doesn't
really-
mean he really did it, but he's getting into these situations.
Yeah, he's put in bad
repeatedly.
situations. Yeah.
So my last bet is Draymond Green. Fuck. Some of these guys I just can't believe. Like understandable he had beef with Jordan Poole, but he had made a comment about not liking Chris Paul. Like someone made a comment like he's like, I still don't like Chris Paul. Yeah. Like he was your new teammate. You already had chemistry issues the year before, basically torpedoed your season, and you're gonna make statements like this even before the season starts that you don't like one of your teammates. Class act. You don't say that shit. You know what I mean? Like it was on his podcast. So
That's terrible. That's terrible.
right.
Yeah.
So I mean I like Draymond Green. I think he's a great player and everything, but I have no respect for him now, just for that fact.
I don't think he's great. I think he's good. I think he's a piece to a puzzle.
I think he's a great fit for
I think if he was in Orlando all these years, he'd be nobody.
Right.
He'd be Bobo.
Well,
I'm not saying. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, Lopez didn't thrive until he got to Milwaukee.
right.
And he changed the game though. I give Lopez
Right.
credit.
He had to adapt.
He became a shooter out
Right.
of nowhere. Yeah.
Right.
But a lot of guys are just these guys like Luke Longley type guys that
Right.
got there and was a part of something that was worked. Yeah.
Right.
And that's with 90% of players that is not. You only got that 2 or 3% of guys that are in the NBA that are legit.
Right.
Yeah, but
that
that's
can
the
go
coach.
anywhere and score.
That's
Doesn't
the
matter.
coach and the GM finding those guys that fit into their puzzle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
hundreds of guys
Right.
out there that have skills that aren't, Michael Jordan or Curry, but you got to put them in the right position with the right guys around them,
Right.
and they've got to buy into it.
Right. I mean, look at the Heat. These guys develop guys that other teams don't see the value in. They develop them, and then they let them go, get paid by other teams,
And
just,
nothing happens.
right. They just keep churning out
Yeah.
talent because they develop. They find the right guys for their system.
Yeah, that's
right.
And you got to plug them in, and like I said, you got to get them to buy into that situation too.
Right.
There's a lot that goes into it because everybody's got talent out there.
Right.
It's in any
It's
of
drive.
these professional
Right.
leagues.
You got to find those guys that do everything it takes to win. Look at Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Self-made man. Like, wasn't highly recruited. Went to JUCO. Went to Marquette. At the time wasn't.
And he wasn't. He was a good college player.
Right.
Mhm.
He was not anybody that jumped out the page
Right.
with what he did. He did a lot of stuff to get you a college scholarship.
Yeah.
Not NBA playing time.
Right.
And when he got there, he became a scorer. He changed what he did.
Right.
He just became the guy.
Right.
He became like you've seen the last few years.
Yeah, and then late first round pick to Chicago, perfect system for Thibodeau, great defensive player,
And they shit the bed with him.
fuck yeah, they did. Yeah, I played Pax Cigar for that whole fucking fiasco. So
He's got a max contract. They've been there forever.
yep,
Again, the GM and the coach and didn't see it.
Well, I think it, and I guess Pax and Gar Foreman, I guess, give him some of the blame, but I think Jerry Reinsdorf is just. I mean, let's be honest. Jerry Reinsdorf is a problem as an owner, and I being a Bears fan, the owners at least go out different in the NFL because you just pay people. It's not they're giving. It's not like they don't pay people. The Bears,
Right.
They do.
right,
But with Reinsdorf, when Bennett Tendi is your highest paid player in the history of your team, that's a problem.
Right.
That's a huge
Oh,
problem.
right.
Why is it-
That's a huge problem.
First of all, Jose Abreu should have been their highest paid player.
I mean, that's a huge problem. Now it's working out for him because everyone's screaming keep the core probably with them too. But Tim Anderson became a pile of dung this year.
Right.
I think he needs a change, but he's gonna get traded probably.
He's
but Robert, he should be getting the. They want to get rid of him too, but he's a guy
He should be the guy they build her, but who knows what his attitude.
And you've seen him not run stuff out and all that, so
right.
that's what kind of gets me. But yes, I agree. He's a guy that should be a
His
max
talent
contract
is
guy.
crazy.
Yeah, and when I say max contract, MLB does that max contract.
Now,
He's
why-
one of the big ones?
Okay, you got the White Sox. You got Robert. Why aren't they going after somebody like Soto to put next to him in the outfield?
They don't want to spend
They're
money.
not paying. They're not going to pay.
That's what I'm saying.
They won't pay one guy, Ed. They're going to pay
I
two.
But put
But they got better.
two young stars
Once
out
they
there.
get Soto to put next to Bennett. But it's crazy. I mean, I'm being a Cubs fan. Their side of town, yes, they've kind of got weird the last, but they actually have a good team right now. They have a solid team.
Who's
They're not
that?
the Cubs. They're not a bad baseball team. Their bullpen is questionable, which they've been for the last 4 years.
Right.
They blew 2017-18 because they didn't want to address the bullpen for 2 years.
They didn't put any money in their starting rotation.
but-
other than
But they're
Stroman.
developing pitchers.
But the
Yeah,
thing is,
right.
And they got a few coming
those
up.
2 years they were in the playoffs.
Right.
Or funny for every year, 2 years in a row.
Right.
And they could have won. They could have won another World Series. They really would have if they would have put a bullpen together.
Yeah.
Because think about it. The only reason they won their first one is because they had Chapman.
Right.
That not the only reason that helped them a ton.
Oh yeah,
And obviously I was fine getting rid of him because he was.
bullpen is huge in the playoffs in the World Series.
You got to be able to have more than. And the Brewers. We talk about how they have a couple years ago they have 3 guys, but you need to have like 5-6 guys you can lean on in the playoffs.
Yeah. The whole Cubs philosophy of buying low, hoping for high results for the relievers just blown up in their face. And every year they're taking a flyer on a guy hoping, so.
But I think they're in a situation right now where they don't plan on winning a division, so I think
I
they're doing
agree.
more
I agree.
buying like on Fulmer and a couple of these guys, and then
Right.
trying to sell them
To flip.
high
Right.
to flip them
Right.
for a prospect or some other.
Former.
Yeah.
I thought you farted again.
No.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Put all one of those up in here.
Oh, that was
Jesus
awful.
Christ.
Speaking of almost puking, one last thing. Lydia Ko assessed 7 penalty shots in the final round of the LPGA Dana.
Right.
She didn't know the rules. What was going on that day.
So yeah, I think it was because there was water.
Well, they
That's
have
your caddy's fault.
they have a
though.
fluff rule, I guess, in some tournaments where you can actually move it's winter rules.
Right.
And they had a rule on certain holes you could do winter rules. She thought it was the whole course.
It was preferred lies on 1
Preferred lies.
Right.
1 in 10 only.
I think that's a winter rule, fancy word to say
Right.
preferred lies.
And I'm thinking it was because there was water on the course or something, so they couldn't. We saw that in the Masters where they could.
Yeah.
Where there was water on the course, so then if you hit the water, you could move it over.
You
So
drop
you
it.
You
You
drop
drop
it. You
line
couldn't be close.
behind. You got to drop behind the water.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It couldn't be closer to the cup. Right?
Yeah. So she screwed up on 3, 7, 9, and 11. She didn't put the ball back where it was.
There was
supposed
only
to
3
be.
holes you could do it. And
Right.
she did it on like 8 on the whole course.
And none of
I
them.
guess.
And she didn't hit any of the ones you could do it on.
Yeah.
So
That's
don't
your
know.
caddy's fault, though.
Yeah. Well, that's both everybody's fault. I mean, but the caddy, you're right. The
Right.
caddy's job is to
Right.
Your job is to go golf. The caddy's
Right.
job is to tell you what you can do when you're golfing.
Right.
Yeah, you are correct. I agree.
you hear all these stereotypes, but she really screwed up her math on that one.
She's American.
I know. I'm just messing around.
So, but Charlie Hall is another LGPA golfer. She had one of the most unusual rounds where she carded a 10 and had 10 birdies during the round.
Oof.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, right
She
after.
had 10 in a hole.
She had a 10. She carded a 10 on a hole, and then she ran off 7 straight birdies, part a hole, and then ran off 3. She had a 10 on the card. I can't remember what the guy called it, but it was you never see that most unusual round.
I
ever.
take that every round I go.
Yeah, pretty much.
I got 10, all birdies the rest of the way.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh, awesome. You done the 5 under, right then?
Yeah.
Well, depending on what the 10 was on, it was a
right,
par
4 or
4.
5, yeah.
So it could be 6. It'd be 4 under then.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, but still, I mean,
whatever, 4 or 5
yeah,
under.
I'd be jumping for joy if I had a 10 on a hole and 10 birdies on my
I
card.
take all pars after the 10.
Yeah,
Actually,
absolutely.
To be honest,
Right.
yeah. So let's jump into the NFL running back situation. So this week Saquon Barkley and today Josh Jacobs has already said he ain't going to training camp. Barkley is debating it.
Why would you?
And I it's hard for me because I looked at Barkley only, and I understand the money thing. I get it, but he is getting $10 million this year to go show up and play. If he goes this year, his lifetime earnings will be $54 million after this year. And I get it, I understand it, but I mean, it sounds funny to say it, but Joe the bagger at Piggly Wiggly, if he goes tomorrow and says, I want more money because I think I'm worth more, they're going to just take someone, put you in your spot.
Right.
And the NFL running back is becoming that same thing.
Right.
They're going to find someone else to take your spot and play. That's
There's
how
just so many
it's
money.
been like that for the last 5. It's not new. And these guys that
No.
pop out and go. And remember, Barkley, they were also nice enough. And obviously, NFL, he was a high prize anyway.
Right.
But you tore your ACL.
Right.
You had a down year after the ACL tour because that happens.
Right.
And you've had 2 good years out of your 5 years.
Yeah.
Remember that.
And he's made how
And
much?
it's not-
54 million.
If he took this year's contract, it'd be around
Okay.
54 million. So he's right now is at 44 or 43.
Right.
So and I don't
That's
get me
good
wrong.
money.
Well, yeah, it's better money. That's why I have a hard time. I get what he's saying, but I have a hard time embracing it. When the rest of the world works at normal jobs and gets paid normal salaries.
So, like at work, we've been having this problem is we're super busy. We're short guys. The whole industry short guys. Employees are missing days, showing up late. I have a guy who hasn't even answered his phone in almost a month. Just disappeared.
Critter.
Yeah. So, and it's almost the same thing when you have a shortage of talent, you get away with this stuff. But right now, there's no shortage of talent. There is a glut of talent. So, like in the last week, I've pretty much got rid of 4 or 5 guys and just replaced them right now with guys that are cheaper and show up.
Right.
And I gave a couple other guys raises that have been showing up and doing good. And now from what I started this year with my 10 guys, I've got 5 or 6 of them left. And I got a whole new 14 more guys now to replace them. And it's very similar to this situation.
Right.
The only
And you're not gonna, and your wages are not gonna go up in those situations if you can't show value, which these running backs can't.
You won't, because there's so many running backs coming out of college every year. I mean, it's the position
And there's 8 openings.
Right.
Well, you look at the only thing that Jacobs and Barkley were smart about is that they didn't talk about this until there's not a lot left.
Right.
The draft's over.
Right. They were
the
smart.
free agent running backs. There's going to be some out there, but
Right.
not going to be.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, and there you go. Dalvin Cook's going to be a hot commodity because he's going to be a
Kareem Hunt.
out there, and he'll be like, screw it, I'll take
As a
3
kicker,
years.
right.
I'll take 3 years, $20 million.
Right.
I'm cool with that. But they did offer Barkley a contract.
Melvin just signed.
1 year, $3 million with the Chargers.
Yeah, that's good money.
Oh, not Chargers. I'm sorry, Ravens. Because Dobbins is once again a
Yep.
pup list possibility this year.
Who's their other running back there then?
It was the kid. He's back to what was his name?
They had 2 Ohio State.
Yeah, there's 4 backs there right now
Right.
that all can probably be starters, maybe
Right.
counting Dobbins.
Right.
But
Well, I mean,
the guy had a real. What's his name?
Well, no, that's
If you say, well, no, I'm gonna say it. But yeah, with this whole thing, I understand what they're saying because I saw some the other day, and actually the highest paid position in the NFL this year is receivers, not quarterbacks. Receivers $2 million. I believe. I'm guessing it goes by starters, not by every position, every receiver. Well, it could be every receiver, but it was it's probably starters. It was $23 million.
yeah.
And then quarterbacks were at 22. Running backs were at 18 or something, or 17 or something. But the funny thing about it was that if you look at that, is that the receiver thing kind of threw me away. But there was also another thing out there. Kicker's average salary is 2.9, and then running backs are only 1.7. Well, you're taking 34 kicker salaries and averaging them out compared to 3 running backs per team in the
Right,
NFL.
at least.
With 2 of the backs on that team, most are getting paid minimum or close to minimum.
Right.
100. Khalil Herbert is not making a ton of money.
No.
Because he was a 4th rounder or something like that. He's making probably maybe $800,000 a year at this point. Maybe.
Well, and the other problem with running backs is their prime is their first 4 years.
Right. Yeah. Gus Edwards, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Gus Edwards. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep. Good
So
back
it's
too. Solid back.
Yeah.
So you got 4 years. It's more cost effective again for an NFL team to draft a running back or 2 in the 3rd round.
Right. The Bears
Put him in there. Hope you hit on one of these
from
guys.
Texas.
Right.
And I
The
mean,
backup from
He's
Texas.
supposed to be good too.
He would have been starting for any other school in Division One.
And if
Pass catcher,
I
too,
mean,
guess, which
if there's Bijan Robinson or somebody like that comes along, it's worth it to draft him in the 1st round.
Right.
But there's very few of those guys right now that are standing. I mean, Eckler was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
and he's a top running back. I mean, with
Montgomery
Jacobs,
was a second or third round pick. I think.
Jacobs wasn't a first round pick.
Yeah, he
was he? Was he?
Yeah.
Jacobs was like a late first. No, he'd be early first round with the Raiders probably.
Yeah.
That's in top 15.
Saquon was a top 5 pick.
Yeah,
Saquon
Saquon
was.
was.
Yeah, he was a
So was Zeke,
But
right?
he was
generational talent.
yes, and Zeke was too.
Right.
Same thing. Zeke
And
was
those
great.
guys, and they make sense to draft those guys first. If those guys are monsters, you're going to get 4 or 5 years out of them. I think you get 5 because you can.
Right.
Well, the 5th year is this.
The 50,
Right.
yeah.
This is going on with the 5th year right now.
Right.
So I mean, to me, it's I think you're going to see the same thing with receivers, even though it takes them about 2 years to figure out a system, on average.
Right. Which is changing.
I think receivers are different though, and I it's tough because receivers.
There's a ton of them right now, though.
But you only have those 10 that can do certain things, where you probably have 20 backs that can do certain.
yeah,
things.
you got
Right.
your Hopkins.
I mean, you have to do 2 or 3 backs, and then
Look at Hopkins still, because he
Yeah,
can catch
if he
any
stays
ball
healthy.
in his area.
But yeah,
Yeah, catch radius is unreal.
yeah,
right there.
that he's got the best, probably one of the best catch
Still.
rates ever, besides maybe Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Besides,
You're
I put
probably right.
I put
Yeah.
Moss up there, and then after that, catch rate is ridiculous. I mean,
Right.
Adams might be a better route runner, might be better at certain things, but DeAndre Hopkins, you want a ball caught in
Yeah.
the air, it's getting caught in the air. If
Right.
it's
You're right.
anywhere within
That's why I
5 feet of him, 10 feet.
One of
It's
the Packers
amazing.
to get him to have a
Some of the security blanket.
yeah,
Security blanket.
exactly. That would've
At
been
his
perfect.
age now, yeah.
It would have been perfect for that team.
Yeah, I think he wanted a lot, and I get it.
Right.
I mean, the Packers got to be. I mean, I get it. I mean, but it would help.
And
You're
the
right.
Titans are a
You would
desperate
help.
team. Yeah, they're
Right.
a desperate team because they traded away Brown, and the guy from Mississippi hasn't been healthy.
The
First round
receiver.
pick,
He was
yeah.
solid. When
He
he
was
played,
solid,
he was
yeah.
good. But they're gonna have Hopkins. They got the kid will come back, and
Right.
they got Eddie George,
Oh,
Derek Henry. So
Right.
Oh, Eddie George, but man,
Eddie George is
he
a
probably
monster.
still run.
Eddie George is a beast.
you know, he's the head coach for like East Tennessee State.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I saw some of that. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you got? I mean,
Did you see the details of this meeting yet?
which one?
Of this Eckler meeting that they had on the Zoom meeting?
Oh, the Eckler when he's coming though. He's showing up.
Yeah, but they did a meeting
They
yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So they like with the players union and these guys all talked. It was a Zoom organized by Eckler, and a whole group of running backs discussed the idea of exaggerating injuries when locked in contract
Yeah.
standoffs. So to me, you're already in a bad situation. So now you're going to make it worse
And the
by
problem is,
faking injuries.
these guys that are doing this
And
make
JC
a lot of money. They're not making chump change.
Right.
It's the problem. Yes, they're not making as much as receivers, or making as much as maybe some linebackers or some
Right.
cornerbacks.
Offensive lineman.
Yes, but the problem is that you're still making a gross amount of money.
Right.
So J.C. Treader, who is the head of the Players Association, ex-Packer again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said they could theoretically do this. They wouldn't get fined because they're saying, "Oh, I'm still sore from being beat up." But to me, you're not. That's not leverage to me. You're weakening your
That
position
gets you
now.
blackballed by me. I'm not going to sign you back, and
Right.
I'm going to tell every owner I know that he pulled this shit.
Right.
I don't care.
Did James Harden lead that meeting?
But you know what I mean? I mean, I
Right.
get, yeah, you're right. You're not making yourself look any better. You're just a guy that finally got my money. Whatever.
Right.
But I'm still getting paid.
But here's what somebody else said. It was the consensus was this won't work for running backs since now it feeds into the narrative that they're always prone to injury. So now it's like, well, that guy can't stay healthy. Why would I sign him?
Right.
And if you're deferring, playing to, you're not going to get your money.
Here's the thing in sports that we all know, and I think we believe: there's always someone hungry behind you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There's
Right.
always someone else say, "Screw it, I'll take a league minimum, take a chance of making league
Right.
maximum.
Well,
If I don't make it,
Right.
hey, I still play in the NFL
Right.
or Major League Baseball or
Austin
NBA."
Eckler was never in that situation where he was the hungry guy behind the lead running back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was in front of him?
Harden.
Yep, Melvin Gordon.
And Eckler now is the big shot there.
Yeah.
So now there's going to be a guy that replaces him, and
And really, the reason he got his position is because Gordon priced himself out of San Diego.
Right.
exactly.
He wanted more money.
So I mean,
You would
these
think you
guys
would learn
don't.
from that, right?
No, they're not smart enough. They just want more, and then. I mean, you can't blame them for trying, but they're taking the wrong tactics.
I'd probably
here.
something to look up eventually or someday. But I wonder what the difference in run to pass. And obviously, you probably do still run more in the NFL. But I wonder how much that ratio has gotten closer since maybe 20 years ago. It's got to be almost 55-45 now. It's got to be really close to some teams, the running to pass ratio.
Right.
It has to be.
Right.
And that's what happened. The running backs is like, well, no, then we'll just pass it 5 more times. Screw it.
Right.
Or the problem is, too, And it's happening in Chicago. It's happening in Philadelphia. It's happening all over the NFL. Maybe it's going to happen in Green Bay with Jordan Love. Quarterbacks run now, too.
Right.
They're taking 5-10 carries away from you just because it's part of the offense now.
Right.
That's not because they're dropping back and just taking off.
Right.
There's design plays. And some of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, Jalen Hurts,
Right.
Mahomes.
Right.
I mean, he don't run.
Lamar Jackson.
Jackson.
Right.
These are guys that are Mahomes I take out because they don't design a lot of plays from the run. But you take those guys,
Josh Allen.
They run on design,
right.
And they're taking the carry. Let me put a perfect example. Buffalo. They've been in contention the last 4 years with who knows that running back.
Right.
Oh, some Cook guy or something.
Singletary,
Right.
Cook. You get these guys. The big guy, the big back that was there. That was the best thing
Moore.
ever.
I know.
No, the guy that went to what was his name? He was a big back. He split time with Singletary 2 years ago, and it was one of those guys where he drafted in fantasy, and it was like nobody got the ball.
Right.
Yeah. I can't remember his name. It's a bigger back, but
Right.
yeah, that's how it is. You look at that's one of the teams, and they have backs. Don't get me wrong, but
That was only 2 years ago. We can't remember who it was.
we're just plug and play
Right.
guys. We're gonna plug and play guys. We're gonna do this.
Yeah,
Gavin Cook.
As long as
Gavin Cook would be a perfect place for this. Ezekiel Elliott would be great for them.
yeah,
They got to expect, though, if you're going to Buffalo, again, as a running back, you're not going to get your 20 touchdowns. You're not going to get your, 1,400
Yeah, but you're
yards.
vying for a Super Bowl. Like
That's the difference. You
Right.
got to, again, what we talked about earlier. You
Well,
got to buy into that system.
and if you go to Buffalo, that's the one thing I would look at. You have to get the contract, and it's got to be a decent contract because you're not going to be able to. Your numbers aren't going to be that off the page in Buffalo.
Right.
But you're still going to contend, like you said.
Right.
And you might be in a lot of situations where you play with a contending team. Sometimes it's not that way anymore. But years ago, the good teams used to have fourth quarters where you didn't have to play a lot.
Right.
But now you kind of do still.
Right.
But they have two back systems now. They rest you. They're not afraid to run you. 60 carry. Half the carries. This guy half the carries or 60-40,
Right.
whatever.
Yeah, but Buffalo is one of those places you win a Super Bowl and you're set for life in that town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's starved.
Right.
It really is, and
Yeah.
it's got a great football. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great football town. That's all they have.
And a new stadium coming in.
Yeah. That's something that leaves me outside stadium. It's
I know.
insane to me.
Open air.
That's nuts to me.
Right.
I mean, it's just crazy. I get it, but I don't get it. It makes no sense because it doesn't do anything, but it's just for football.
Right.
I mean, you could do other things in Buffalo. I mean, in the
Right.
middle of winter, have a monster truck come in and
Right.
sell the place out, and
Eat
have,
wings.
yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, concerts also.
Yeah, concerts too. Yeah, bring middle of winter, something to do in Buffalo.
Right. Jason Aldean.
Hey, how about the NCAA? How about the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Have a first,
They
second
do
round.
it in
Yeah.
Buffalo. They would for
Right.
sure.
Absolutely.
They do now,
Right.
but they play at whatever. Yeah, so
Right.
you just drop the ball in these situations.
And
But
they play in a barn behind Steve's house now.
yeah. So the NFL running back situation is,
Right.
it's crazy to me, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, look at Green Bay's another. They have to decide what to do with Dylan after this year. Aaron Jones took a pay cut to stay. So I mean,
Yeah, they might have the best combo of two guys, talent-wise.
right,
They might both be gone at the end of the year.
right,
I would guess it'd probably be Jones.
Staying.
No, gone because of age. I mean,
Right.
you look at age.
but he
Dylan-
likes speed. Like that's the
I
whole
mean,
thing.
he did take a cut, but it may
Dylan loves it there, though, too. I mean,
Oh yeah, he
But the other thing with
He
Dylan,
lives up in
though,
Dark County.
they love it there and all that. But Dylan's case is this:
he's still
whenever you talk about the Packers and you say running back, 90% of people that aren't Packer fans will say Aaron Jones.
right.
It's
Oh
not
yeah,
Dylan.
absolutely.
Dylan wants to be every guy that can play the position wants to be the star somewhere. And if he can't be the star, he might say, "Well, fuck it, I'll go to Buffalo."
Right.
Well, we're
it's
going to
fine.
see this year now where they have to run the ball a lot more and be effective running the ball.
They will.
They have to be.
Right.
Or they're going to go 3-14. Well, I don't know how many games are there.
76, I think.
Now?
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got more than NBA now.
So 3-41.
But it's about the players.
Yeah.
It's about the player safety. Let's add a game.
Right.
We're gonna get rid of a preseason game. That's cool. We're gonna add a game that means something.
Right.
We're gonna set the preseason games. Let's just bring that back.
We'll give you an extra day to practice.
Yeah, and we're gonna have you play on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
We'll give you Tuesdays off.
It's all about safety.
Yeah.
Take your masks off and here, take this vaccine that might make you have a heart attack in the middle of the Buffalo field.
That was a Bengals too.
Well, whatever. You know what I mean? Well, who's got Marquise Goodwin's got blood clots in his legs now?
Huh?
He might be out for a while. He's
Wow.
31 years old.
Right.
So again,
Right.
that's a weird injury, a blood clot injury.
Yeah.
And whatever. But yeah, the NFL. Oh, we care about our players. What? Throw them in the garbage. Get a new one.
Right.
It's like, Jesus Christ, I try to repair my lawnmower more than they do. You know, they just
Right.
throw it in
How
the
about
garbage.
Aaron complaining about being on Hard Knocks?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to defend Aaron Rodgers here.
What?
You know why? Every team hates being on that show.
Right.
Every team has complained since year one about being
Kyler
on the
Murray
show.
didn't get any bad press from it.
At least
Destroyed his career.
that ruined their team. But nobody likes being on that show. Nobody likes being on that show because
Rex Ryan.
Yeah, well, Ryan loved it.
Yeah.
Ryan fed into it. He liked it as
licking feet. And,
yeah. He was. You know, I mean, there's been some good characters on it, but a lot of teams don't want to be on that show.
Campbell, right?
Yeah, Campbell. Campbell fed into it, but a lot of players. I mean,
You think they don't like it because they're worried about giving away stuff to other teams?
well, I think you got to be worried about what you say.
Yeah.
I mean, if you sit
You're
there,
walking on eggshells.
I'm not saying anything like, but you're sitting there and I'm sitting there. Oh yeah, that dude over there, he's a cocksucker. Oh shit.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know if the teams have some kind of editing. They can sit in and go, okay, no, that can't be
Right.
But
because it's just like this show. You know, if we say you can't say cocksucker on this show, it gets
Right.
edited right out.
oh, too late.
You can say sweet teats, though.
Sweet teeth.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. I'm gonna defend Aaron Rodgers. I get what he's saying. I
Right.
mean, I'm on a new team. We're trying to get stuff together here, and I got cameras all over us. But it's gonna be interesting. I mean, you know, for a guy who seems to love the camera,
Right.
I mean, it's kind of weird. But
I got a
I
question.
shouldn't say he loves the camera. He gets away. He's not a big. I shouldn't say that. He's not a big guy that likes to hang out in front of the camera.
He likes
when
the
off-season-
positive stuff, though.
But off season, you don't see him much. I know he does but he's getting probably paid a few bucks to do the McAfee show. That's
Right.
not free.
Right.
Nothing's free in this stuff. They think it is, but it's not. They pay these guys to do these shows, and so he's getting paid.
Jay Hawk's making big money on that
And, you
show.
know, and he'll not talk. You know, and that thing, but he don't talk about football on there much. They talk about everything else. So that's whatever.
Kinda like this
basement
show.
bench warmer. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say basement bench warmers.
So it was funny.
So
It was
I'll ask you a question. You guys watch that every year?
I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows.
I've never seen it.
Really.
I've never had HBO.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither. So I have seen
you would love it.
episodes.
You would love it. You would love it. You would love it.
Has any of the teams actually been more successful
Oh, yeah.
the year they've had
Yeah, the Ravens were one of them.
We're surprised.
No, because you could tell when you watch the show, and just by watching football, I can tell when I watch a show who's going to be good and bad every year.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to be good this year. Arizona last year, I said they're going to be terrible, and they were terrible.
What about Detroit last year, though? They underachieved.
Nope. Detroit, well, they were one game from the playoffs.
But still,
No,
they
but
under, they,
But the year
people
before,
had
they
that-
won 3 games.
I know.
They
No, I'm
they
not
got
saying that,
better.
but
And I did
they were
think
supposed to get better, though.
they were better. They were better.
This year should be their year.
Yeah. But the watching the show last year, I said I would say they probably were about close to being playoff. They were good. You could just tell by that it was just a different thing. Like the Jets here, Rex Ryan, they weren't very good that year, and you can tell it was like a sideshow.
Right.
It was a circus to Rex Ryan. It was a fun to him. It was a good time.
Who else has had it? Jacksonville hasn't.
Dallas has had it.
And I can't remember how Dallas did that year when they did it. I can't remember if they made the playoffs or
Yeah.
not.
Dallas was like
It was the year that Dak Prescott had the bad shoulder to start the year, and I think
Jason
they may
Garrett
have
played.
made the playoffs. And the coach then was Holmgren. No, not Holmgren. McCarthy.
Yeah,
It was his
same
first year, I
Yeah.
think. No, it was second year because I don't think you could be on there if you're a
First year,
first year
right.
coach. That's a rule. Because the Bears were supposed to be on it this year. They were talking about it, but so the Bears don't want to be on it either.
Right.
They're weird. They're old school. Like they don't want that shit on.
I think they got some pull in the league to say they don't want to do it.
Well, Evan McCaskey, they were making jokes about him on ESPN 1000. Like he probably doesn't want to be on there because they'll catch him because he was throwing a football with his grandkid. They said on the video, and the kid was throwing it pretty good. And McCaskey didn't throw a football at all.
Right.
He goes, he don't want to be on video throwing a football. They'll be like, this guy owns a team.
Right. They want to show how
He's-
antiquated
He's
their
from the
facilities are.
Hallis legacy.
Yeah.
They created football essentially.
He can't throw a ball.
They can't throw a ball.
Oh no, that wasn't it. I'm sorry. He hit his grandkid in the face with a football.
Oh, that's
I'm
it.
sorry. The kid he threw it to me. He kind of threw it at him, and the kid just went whack. That's what it was. He's like, he don't want to be on screen getting hit by a football.
So here's the difference.
That was it. I'm sorry.
So when the Bears do that, McCaskey is like, oh my God, he hit his kid. And when Dan Campbell does it, like, he fucking deserves it.
That's why I like Dan Campbell. So you can watch. If you watch it, you'll be able to go, oh, they're gonna be decent. They're gonna be solid. They're gonna be, or no. But yeah, because the year that
So we're going to know if the Jets are going to be a team to reckon with.
you'll be able to tell. But number one, to be honest, they're gonna be good. I think just because their defense is a top 5 defense, hands down. It's not even close.
That's what everybody keeps saying.
They were top 5 last year, just with a terrible offense.
Right.
They were like that 3-quarter, and that's who was the year before that did that. You can look at this. The 3-quarter defenses. If you take
Was it
3-quarter,
the Niners?
if you take 3-quarter defenses, a lot of teams in history, you look at it and you just watch football enough. When I say 3-quarter defense, a defense that is dominant through 3 quarters. they get to the fourth quarter, they get beat. You know why? Because their offense sucks.
Right.
Yeah, can't keep the other team
Nope,
off the
you're
field.
on the field too long in the fourth
Yeah.
stretch. You are just shutting teams down.
Right.
Gets to the fourth quarter, you just are done, and you get beat. You lose close games.
Right.
And that's the Jets. That's the team last. They were terrible on offense. They were almost. Were they a playoff team last year? Almost. They were on the cusp last year.
They were on the cusp.
Yeah, and they had no
Yeah,
quarterback.
they had a top 5 defense.
Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson.
Right.
I mean, Zach Wilson. I just think I don't know if the jury's still on him. It doesn't look great, but obviously now he's not going to start.
And now they got Garrett Wilson in his second year.
Yeah,
He's
Garrett
gonna be-
Wilson.
should be
They
a
got
stud.
Nicole Hardman now there.
Yeah.
They have that. So they
They have a couple other young.
It sucks that Brees Hall won't be around, but because I think he's gonna be one of those guys that's a year away again. He'll come back, but he's not going to be.
Right.
He's Saquon Barkley type guy. Tore his
Do you
ACL.
think Michael Carter's going to be the guy? Still got him in fantasy.
Carter, I can't remember who else. No, they got another guy this year. They signed somebody, a
Yeah.
free agent. The Jets,
Yeah, they did.
like a back, like a starter,
Was
like
it Jet Robinson? Yeah, it was Robinson, wasn't it?
Robinson. From where?
James Robinson.
It could have been. You might be right. Yeah, that might be right. Where did Jamal Williams go?
Jamal Lewis. He retired a lot of years ago.
The ex-back or the ex-Lion? Where did he go?
Jamal Williams.
He went.
Williams went to New Orleans, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
sure did. Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. But the division is going to be good. I think. I think the team that might be.
The Dolphins, you keep saying.
I think that odd man out this year. I really do.
They signed Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb.
No, the Jets did.
Yeah.
That's what he's
Talking
talking
about Corey Davis.
No, we're talking about the running back.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
We're going to talk about that Jets team. I mean, we're going to get an interview with Rodgers.
Yeah, we'll
before
get
the
one.
season starts.
I'll get that interview again.
Yeah, he talked. We just talked to him the other day
Yeah.
down in Chicago, and he said he's ready to come
He had
back
to
on
go
the
though.
show.
He wanted to watch Whale Week
Yeah.
on
He doesn't like
Yeah.
Shark Week.
no, because he eats whales.
I know.
Upset someone.
Yeah, he's all, the orcas. It's like, oh, whatever.
That's cool to watch.
Yeah.
A shark maiming a whale. That's fun to watch.
Oh,
I don't know. That division will be interesting. I think the Patriots are going to be obviously iffy, and then you have the Dolphins,
Well-
Jets, and Buffalo. I mean, you never know.
everybody's down on the Patriots.
Well, I think the Jets.
It's like,
The
Michael
Jets,
Carter.
no, he's been there.
He's been, yeah.
Maybe that's
He was the
something.
starter 2 years ago.
Yeah.
No, they got one more. They just picked somebody up.
Travis Dye.
No,
Keep going.
I'm looking.
maybe
It's
not.
going to be Robinson.
Xavier Knight.
No.
Keep going. Get to the R's.
No, they don't do this by fucking position. So
No, it's in alphabetical order. It's the R's.
No, it was by numbers sometimes too, which he would be out. High number, obviously. 30.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even know.
My Robinson might be right.
I know they picked up some veteran because I was like, come on. I thought Michael Carter was going to be the guy again. I still
all
haven't.
right. Their running backs are Israel Abanikanda, Michael Carter, Demara Crockett, Travis Dye, and Zonovan Knight. Those are the running backs.
I never
I
heard of
swear
any
they
of those.
signed him because we were talking about that. You was even said.
Maybe it's not settled yet. Maybe it hasn't
Yeah.
finalized the contract. Who knows?
But yeah, but the Dolphins, I should say this, their defense is really good this year too. They're another defense.
Oh, yeah.
Because they got the cornerbacks there.
I read a whole thing about everybody down on New England. It's like, well, Mac Jones is going to be the guy to put him on top. It's like, in that division, you might as well have.
I mean, Mac Jones played good his rookie year.
You could have
but second year,
Mahomes.
he
Yeah,
struggled.
because
You
you
could
didn't
have
have a fucking
Mahomes in
offensive coordinator last year.
Yeah, that's a good call.
How does Belichick think that?
He brought Bill O'Brien back this year. I think it's going to help.
Oh, absolutely.
Bill O'Brien, I think, is a good coordinator.
Yeah,
I really do.
the whole thing though, Bill O'Brien's gonna have a good year. He's gonna be a head coach somewhere, either
Yeah, someone will give him another shot.
like college or
Houston's got to have an opening, right?
right.
He was already there, wasn't
Yeah, he was already there.
I don't think they'll take him back. He's not Billy Martin.
Well, he got screwed because he went there. Deshaun Watson was there and it all blew up in his face. Not his face, not his fault.
Aaron Foster.
He thought he was going there thinking, yes, I'm going to have a
Right.
quarterback I can work with. We got DeAndre Hopkins here. It's going to be great. And then Watson went through his shit.
I think Cleveland's gonna be a dark horse team for the AFC.
I like Cleveland too. Their defense too. Their defense, they can rush the passer.
Right.
They can
Again, though, that AFC, though, you're going to have in that division, right? Don't they have the Bengals and the Ravens, too?
Yeah,
and
Ravens.
the Steelers.
And
Yeah.
the Steelers.
I think
gonna
the Steelers might have a hard time. It's might.
Yeah,
I mean,
they should be a
Kenny,
fourth
but Kenny Pickett showed flash last year.
Right.
We'll see. Someone's got. I mean, obviously.
you still got the Chargers who have underachieved for 3 straight years now.
They hired a new coordinator there. Offensive, I think, or defensive.
Yeah, they got
we talked about
Cowboys. Offensive
Oh yeah,
coordinator.
Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
Great
The
pickup.
NFC, we should be able to pick how many teams go in now? 8?
72.
Yeah, it's like all 72 teams.
It was
are
a
in.
playing game now.
Is there really?
I think the
Oh,
basketball
Jesus
team's over. I think the
Christ.
Bucks made it last
The
year.
mid-season playoff?
Yeah, they're gonna have mid-season tournaments.
Mid-season tournaments will be fun for the NBA.
Yeah, we'll talk about that some when we get closer.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, we got to talk about that next week. We'll talk about that whole.
I was just thinking, though, that AFC is just ridiculous.
Yeah, the AFC is gonna be good.
There's probably 12, 14 teams that are legit shots of making the playoffs.
Kansas City, Miami,
Buffalo.
San Diego, Buffalo, with no particular order. Cincinnati, Baltimore.
Yep.
You know, there's 6.
Then you
right
got the Dolphins, Jets.
Dolphins. I'm not sold on the Jets yet, but
I mean they're going to get a
Jacksonville. Jacksonville will be a division winner.
You got the Titans still too.
Someone's got to win that division.
Oh, they probably should have won a playoff game last year. They shit the bed in that game. So.
Should be KC.
Yeah, they should.
That's just inexperience.
Yeah.
I mean, when the Titans just won 13 or 14 games just
yeah,
a
but
year
they
ago?
lost. They lost
I
a
know.
lot of offense, a lot of defense.
But still, I mean, you got those
Offensive
teams
linemen.
are all pretty solid.
Yeah,
I still think Kansas City's cream of the crop. I really do. KC
Yeah.
just well, Jones isn't showing up for training camp, so that's gonna be a problem.
Yep.
right.
Chris Jones is main standard.
He's their defense.
Right.
So,
Oh, they can outscore teams though too.
but
for a
I
while.
think just the way Mahomes plays the game, I think he's on Kelsey. They got to get all the juice out of Kelsey they can because he's got to be hitting a wall eventually here.
Yeah.
He has to. I mean, it sucks to say, but he's 32, I think.
And he likes to party.
He's played that position at such a high level for the last 8 years,
Yeah.
7 years. I mean,
You'll hit the wall.
it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
You think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
He might be the.
He might even
be
be best baseball. That's
right,
all
yeah, no kidding.
He might get enough votes there.
There's a good question while we're just sitting here bullshitting in the backyard. Is he the best ever?
No.
Who's better?
Gronk.
Kelsey's leading the league in receiving.
I'm gonna have to say Tony Gonzalez would have to be
Yeah,
that conversation.
That's a good one.
Tony Gonzalez just played his longevity too. He played so long and he was relevant every year.
You got
he
him
played.
and
Now
Antonio
Kelsey,
Gates.
Kelsey still could do it till he's 42. I'm not saying he could 40 also.
Right.
Gates played, but he hit that wall. He had like 6 years. All of a sudden he was just
Right.
he just injuries and he just wasn't as good.
Well,
But
Gronk's the same way though. Gronk,
Right.
he played a short time, but he was.
I'd have to put Tony Gonzalez.
Unstoppable.
I don't disagree with that at all.
If you were doing a Mount
I wouldn't
Rushmore,
either.
it'd be Gonzalez. I'd
Right.
put Kelsey on there for sure.
Yeah.
They put all the Kansas City tight ends on there.
Gonzalez, yeah, that's interesting. Gonzalez, but he had a lot of success in Atlanta too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great. He got there. Young Matt Ryan he played
Yeah.
with. That was actually perfect for Matt Ryan.
Right.
And he went to
Again,
the Super Bowl with him,
veteran-
right? He was in
yeah.
that Super Bowl. They lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Veteran receiver.
Could have won one too, poor
Right.
guy.
But Kelsey's like he's a top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I'd say he is.
He's not really a tight end. He's more of a receiver than a tight end.
Yeah.
And that gets interesting.
He's kind of
too.
getting gypped on his pay.
Right. He should really be classified as a wide receiver, make more money, but they're paying him as a tight end. So that's what he's listed as.
To me, though, if you watch him play, he is open on every freaking play somehow. He can find a hole in the defense. He knows every defense. He can see it happening, and he can find that hole.
Yeah.
He knows exactly. He's almost like
Perfect.
Peyton Manning, but as
Right.
a tight end. He
The perfect
knows
safety
exactly.
valve for Mahomes. Mahomes wouldn't be the player he is without him.
No, and not even close.
Right.
I mean, he's good.
I think Kelsey
he's
could go
great.
wherever he wanted and be a great player.
Somebody's here. Hopefully, it's Bradley bringing us some beer finally.
I still got that rye whiskey in the car.
Nah, yeah, well, you can leave it in there.
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna go smash it on the street.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Dump it on the curb for Willie.
No, that's a good one. Gronk. Yeah, I mean Gronk's good. I mean, you go way back. Shannon Sharp too. He had a good career.
Yeah,
He
Shannon
was
Sharp.
solid, yeah. I'm trying to think.
Shannon Sharp, yeah. Shannon Sharp.
How about? I mean, I don't want to put him in, but he was great for a period of time, like Terrell Davis career almost.
Right.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham, yeah.
Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, but he was
another guy. He was a beast too. I mean,
I knew you were going to say that too.
Jimmy Graham was like the original like Kelsey. He could stretch the field.
Right.
He played like a receiver.
He was another.
He was one of the first guys that complained about it.
Right.
He wanted receiver money. He was the guy that kind of
Right.
started talking about it.
That's why you got all the stress, made his hair fall out.
Yeah, and got him, and then his knee got hurt.
Right. And you can go, oh yeah, there's. I mean, you're not going to put Ditka up like that because it was a different game then. But there were some tight ends back in the 80s.
The guy who was the guy who played for the Patriots back in the day. What was his name?
Mackey.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's the award.
Is it Mackey?
The Mackey Award is,
Yeah, it's
is for
Mackey, right?
best college tight end, right?
Paul Coffey.
Paul Kaufman.
Yeah. So yeah. So
Okay.
Let's
Ooh, would you bring some more for us?
No, actually, I was gonna try a burger on the show.
You brought a burger?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna eat
I was
it?
gonna try it, yeah. I don't know. You were doing it out here though, so
Pass.
kind of ruined
We
it.
don't get any.
I was
Yeah,
just
you didn't bring us. You didn't bring
What
us
kind of burger?
anything.
What do you got for a burger?
You didn't bring 3
Cheeseburgers,
cheeseburgers.
just ketchup on it.
You didn't bring us 3 cheeseburgers for us to try one. I
Well,
never
I
had a
mean-
McDonald's
I mean,
cheeseburger
they'll be-
here at Tim.
I mean, there'll be 1.5 left if I don't like it.
We got 2 of them.
Because if I like it, then I eat the other one, and you guys can have chicken nuggets that I got in my backup plan.
I like this kid.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Let's go eat it.
It's good. They don't taste. Their McDonald's burgers are fine.
They're- First time you ever had a McDonald's burger?
No, he had them when he was little, but you know,
Oh,
he's
So,
No.
so Jay, it's for you people I can't hear because Jace is way over there off screen.
Or should I come over by you and like right in front of
Yeah,
your
get
face?
back here.
yeah. Here's
So
Jason.
he's
Did you ever see
He-
Super Size Me? The
Yes.
documentary?
Great show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guy's liver is
Morgan
totally messed up.
Yeah, he had that double quarter pounder, which I fucking love.
I hate the quarter pounder.
Oh, I love it.
Morgan
Have you had
Spurlock.
the new burger? I'm sorry, the new one.
No.
The jalapeno cheddar one.
No,
The guys that work at it, they said it was awesome.
really. I've
Yeah.
had the white goo burger from Arby's.
How was it?
It's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that one, it's a quarter pounder with normal quarter pounder, everything on it, but they put cheddar cheese sauce and jalapenos on it.
And
So-
bacon.
Oh, and bacon, yeah.
So if you want to have a heart attack if you're done eating
So I
it.
was like, where am I going on the way home?
I can't eat.
One.
I'm not really big on McDonald's after like lunchtime. It makes me like kind of.
Got the
Because I eat it all the time.
Got the poopies.
All right, Jason's gonna
Jason's
eat
gonna eat
it.
a burger.
This is first McDonald's cheeseburger
How
that
old
he
am I?
can remember.
I'm 19, so yeah, probably the first one my first burger that I can remember eating.
So
You
these
know,
were-
you're gonna
these
like
were-
it. Then you step up to like good burgers.
These were like
Milwaukee
39
Burger
Oh, like
Company and
a
stuff.
picnic.
Five Guys.
Five Guy. Oh yeah, Five Guys.
Yeah.
You'll
All
like
right,
it.
here we go.
It's not, you don't like it. It don't taste like anything.
I'm still like something.
Oh, they're burgers. It don't taste like
Go ahead.
it's like they jump in the pool. It's cold.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
Their cheeseburgers
I
are
don't like it
good.
that much.
You gotta eat more than one bite.
Oh, that's one thing on it. That's why I don't like that much.
What's
Oh,
on
they put onions and everything on it. Check the other one. I got the other one right. What am I supposed to do with this? Eat it.
it? I like this.
You want some? Or you could the other one.
Oh, I'm waiting for the other one.
That's everything on that one, I guess.
Can I listen?
No, because it would have sticker on the outside.
Yeah.
No onions?
Bring it to Daddy.
There's onions. There's everything.
Ah, rip that thing in half.
That's it.
There we
Well,
go.
you gotta try it again next time then.
We'll try it on Saturday.
Oh, here.
Mm.
Well,
Because you know what? I really hope your burgers are better than McDonald's.
Thanks, Jace, for the hamburger.
thanks. Worked out great. Thanks, McDonald's. For screwing up an order.
Ah, big surprise.
So
Oh,
let's talk about
good snack.
let's step away from sports. We don't do it too often. Let's talk about Jason Aldean this week. The story behind him. So
What happened? I didn't hear it.
for those of you that don't live on Earth or been been in a submarine looking for Titanic,
Oh, no, I ruined it.
he said I almost choked. So Jason Aldean put out a song, and the song is called "Not in My Town" or
Try it in a small town.
"Try in a Small Town." And
Try that in a small town.
try that. And so basically, the song, and this is what it means. And it's not an interpretation by me. This is what the song is about. The song is saying, if you come to our town and mess around, you're gonna be told, you're gonna be set straight. Basically, it's not saying anything about you drive through my town, I'm gonna shoot you, just because you're driving through, anything like that. It's about do stuff like you did in Chicago, Kenosha, and it's not gonna work out. That's what it means. The song. So everybody in the world, every star that could jump on this. They criticized Jason Aldean, basically called him a rape. It started out, my favorite part of this whole thing was, it started out with saying that first, that he was, oh my God, it's just about everybody having guns, blah, blah, blah. Then that didn't stick to the wall, so he moved on and just called him a racist. It was just easy. Let's call him racist. He's racist. That's what they did. It went from being guns to being racist.
Well, everybody in a small town does have guns.
Well, and that's the thing. Small towns can handle it because people don't just go around shooting people.
Yeah.
Because they hunt and they go home. And don't get me wrong, crap happens everywhere in the world. So I'm sure it's happening in a small town, bad stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But what he's saying in the video is people in the riots and stuff, the upheavals and all that from 3 years ago or whatever. So the problem I have with it is that, of course, he's racist. They call him in the video. Watch the video. It's 90% of people in the video are white people doing this destruction, and it's people with masks. You can't even tell. The problem I have with it is, once again, we're just attacking people. CMT quit playing his music, or that video they want to play no more.
Right.
They're done with it because they can't play. So music, who Two Live Crew fought so hard for to be free speech, which they did. Two Live Crew, no matter love or hate them, they were the founders of letting stuff like that. Like Cardi B talk about WAP. My daughter can hear WAP, but she can't hear this song.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, you come to a small town, you're gonna have to.
You're gonna get a wet ass
pussy in your face. I'm just saying.
There's big cats there.
Hey, bonus soul enthusiast.
So all I'm saying is that there's so many. I mean, Cop Killer was a song.
Right.
So was F the Police
Fuck
was a
the Police,
song.
right.
So these are all songs that, hey, I listen to them. That's not my feelings, but I listen to them. And NWA I thought was a great group.
Yeah.
They really were. They were
Ahead of the time.
Yes, they were. And so these songs go out there, and it's okay. But all of a sudden and people forget the people that wanted to ban this music were Democrats. That's all I have. It was Tipper Gore with her, and I thought it was a great idea. I mean, I was young, but yeah, it's fine having this. And they weren't really trying to ban it. Just want people to know what was on. That's fine.
And you remember
parental advisory is fine. I have no problem with that. That's cool. But then this episode stuff going on is crazy.
Right.
It's a song.
Right.
Click.
Right. Well, and the whole thing is too is that the production company picked this town, and back in the 1920s there was lynching.
It was a Tennessee state capital they were in.
Right. Right. So they were just trying to find things to stick to the wall to add to.
My favorite part of the whole thing. So if it's such a bad place, why isn't it torn down?
Right.
Why don't they build new state capital somewhere?
Right.
Someone pointed out to me, I think Glenn told me this. There's been like tons of movies and stuff filmed on that site.
Yeah.
They filmed stuff on there. Why aren't those movies all banned now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Let's ban them. Well, they pull that shit all the time. They'll be like, oh, this stuff happened in Kenosha. Kenosha's racist because back in the 1920s, the girls' softball league was here or whatever, and they played against Rockford, and Rockford had this happen. It's like, how do you tie this shit together?
Nobody I knew was alive then.
Right.
My grandparents were barely alive then.
Well, that's why they moved here, though.
They passed away, but
they heard about the lynchings, so they came here. Because that's what everybody was. We didn't even news back then.
But it just bothers me. That's what we're turning to everything. And I love, and I like some country music, and I'm not Jason Aldean. I'm not a Jason Aldean huge fan or nothing, but I'm a fan because it's someone that just says, I don't care. Fine, don't play it. I did nothing wrong.
Right.
I did not do one thing wrong here.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a problem as a society that we expect him, a guy who wrote a song that means nothing that you're saying it means, to apologize and just not release it anymore.
Right.
Well, you have the hockey player, NFL players, and NBA players. They don't apologize for shit when they're beating up people or beating up a guy in a bar, or beating up a woman, or threatening cops or families.
Getting sued for forcing a man to have a male threesome. Howard.
But I'm just saying,
Right.
they don't get him on the but Jason Aldean has to be canceled because he wrote words on a piece of paper and plays a guitar behind
How
it.
many other
And actually, he didn't write that song. That's the best part.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
There's
The
five
guy who
people.
wrote it's like yes.
5 people. There's 5 people that are credited for that song. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing too. Is it's almost like that Lee Greenwood. Proud to be an American. It was like out for 10 years, and then which one? It was one of the bombings or something.
Right.
And everybody's like, "Oh, this is a great song. It fits in there, and they're making money." I mean, Aldean's got this song now. This is going to be.
Well, it's number one. It's number one on iTunes. I thought.
Oh, for sure.
Number one.
I guarantee.
I saw something the other day, and I don't know if it's true because I don't know if he'd do this because obviously everything on the internet isn't true, guys. Sorry, I had to break your spirit.
What?
But I think Blake Shelton, or was it who's the guy named Luke Bryan? One of them. It was a quote from them, and he goes, "Well, you're not going to play his music. You can take mine off your station too."
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's true,
Right.
but I mean, I would love to see a bunch of country guys go, you know what? We're shutting you down, CM.
Yeah, we'll start our own station.
We're not. You're not shutting us down.
We'll show you.
And you're messing with the wrong genre at that point. You really are.
The problem is
You really are. Yeah, because they don't. He did nothing wrong.
Right.
they don't.
And they'll defend him. That's why they're not afraid to defend him. Where other people, in other facets might agree with, he did nothing wrong, but I'm not saying.
Well,
nothing,
you mean like Drew Brees when he did nothing wrong and they destroyed him,
teammates were destroying
and
him.
everybody just turned around and
Well,
what a
Sheryl
bunch of
Crow
fucking
jumped on the bandwagon this week. She said it nicely, but basically said, it's not right. People don't like guns. Like,
bullshit. We love
but
guns.
that's not what the song is about.
Right.
Because he's saying about his granddaddy gave him a gun, and he has it still.
Right. And they tried. Remember the controversy with Morgan Wallen?
Yes.
Yeah. He's still going strong.
Yeah. When he outside with that video of him outside yelling. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a little different.
Yeah, but he did. Yeah, and word. It was recorded. He was drunk. It's not right.
Right. And he apologized.
Yeah, and he wasn't like yelling at people, kind of like the.
Well, and he should apologize for that. I mean,
Yeah, he
he's
should.
a drunken idiot.
Yeah,
But
he
again, saying a dirty word somehow, and this doesn't even apply to Aldine because he didn't even say anything dirty or wrong.
Right.
Nothing
Yeah.
even close.
Right.
Morgan Wallen said a dirty word that's like the worst word, since Hitler or whatever. And he apologized, but we just talked about how many guys that committed felonious assaults against
Right.
people. Kareem Hunt kicked a broad in the face,
Right.
and he still can be back in the NFL, and he's
But there's
those are like real physical crimes.
Right.
and I just think it just shows society is just going. And people are like, you watch this, and people are doing a lot of TikToks now with like reaction videos and stuff about them listening to a song, and it's like they're saying stuff during the reaction that's not even that. It's not even listening to a song.
Right.
Like they heard halfway through the song they're always saying like this and that. You're saying because you heard that.
It's a
Right.
stereotype because here's the problem is they're the same ones that are calling out racism and everything else, but they're stereotyping every college guy is like a sister fucker,
Mhm.
and he lives in a trailer and there are a lot of them. Don't get me wrong. I've been down south. They're all over. But again, it's the exact same thing that they accuse the other side of doing.
Yeah.
And they're making a preconceived notion
Right.
that he's a racist because he's in country music automatically.
Right.
And Nashville's a liberal cesspool now.
Yeah.
Even though the whole country scene is
Yeah.
controlled
Oh, yeah.
by liberals and woke people.
That's a
and
problem. Why? I don't know why these fests have to be controlled by any political.
They
Just
do,
play
though.
your music and make your movies.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it used to be all
Yeah,
about
but
making money.
Aldine's
But
got other songs too, like she's country and it glorifies country women.
Yeah.
So
misogynistic,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
why
aren't
not call him out on that?
Right. Yeah, and
Because
then he's got a song about going to like Crazy Town, the Nashville song about going and playing and trying to make a living. Why did you call him out on that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I haven't even heard the song yet.
I haven't.
Oh yeah, we'll listen after. I can't play it now. We're gonna shut down.
Then we'll watch Head Wound Harry.
Edwin Harry.
I want to watch it.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, so I mean, it's so ridiculous, and I mean, and you got people canceling on both sides because right now, conservatives are trying to cancel Disney and Bud Light just got destroyed. And whatever.
I'm not a fan because I would say something there, and you're right. I mean, it's not just a one-way street.
Right.
I mean, we're trying to attack Disney because they're saying that the Sound of Freedom movie came out. It was about trafficking. And it's a pretty good movie. And they said, well, Disney they weren't going to put it out. Okay, that's not mean they were protecting it. They sold it. They sold
still
the rights
sold
off.
it. Yeah.
They what they looked at us. They watched me and went, who's gonna want to go see this? Yeah, we're not, because there is guys actually selling these businesses that are looking to make money.
Right.
There's actually not. They're not going, well, this looks too. No, they're gonna sit there and go, yeah, if this ain't gonna make $20 million, we can't put it out.
And it's not. And I'm going to put it this way: it's not the first movie that's been shelved sitting there. I mean, we got this thing like a Christmas Story that's at there. You drove all the way over just to see the house, and it was shelved for years because Hollywood's full of morons.
Do you know I found this out the other day? I was today, not today, it was a few months ago. I was that many days old.
Right.
When you go, have you been to Disney World ever or Disneyland? You ever go in the you might have known this, the carousel of the carousel changes decades, like it shows how we advanced from the old days. You sit in a room and it's animatronic people. It's like they're talking about, oh look, this is the country back in the day when we had to milk our own cows, and it moves over. You spin, goes to a new goes to a new room, and now he's like it's like now we're in the 20s,
right?
And now we're in the 50s. Now we're in the probably 2000s,
right?
And everything's up there, so it goes around. The voice that narrates it's a dad's voice in that room is Gene Shepherd, the guy that does the Christmas Story.
Really?
Yes. And I found, and when I heard it, I go, no shit, it is.
That's a great question. It would have been a great Ed's Jeopardy.
Gene Shepherd is the voice of the Carousel of Progress and the narrator of Christmas Story.
That's awesome.
Right? He was narrator, right?
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Ralphie older.
He wrote the story.
Yeah, look at the Shawshank Redemption, like another movie that.
Oh, great movie.
Well, it did terrible in the theaters, and it wasn't until video cassette that like Office Space was another movie.
Well,
like
E.T. was panned.
Yeah.
Like a terrible movie. E.T.
Yeah.
Cried my eyes out.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Then they took the guns out of it when they redid it. When they did the
now all you hear is his pew 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 pew. Finger guns, get the alien, pew 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 pew. And then the kids are
all the guys are running around like this now with micro.
They never shot them in the movie though.
No.
They never shot at him. They were cops with guns.
It's like, here's the thing. You go back and look at that. They're chasing an extraterrestrial. We don't know what he's
I would have
doing.
shot at him.
If you didn't have guns, you are completely unprepared. It's like, of course you would have guns chasing an alien.
Right.
He's got a goddamn glowing finger.
Had a big spaceship coming down.
If I pull up tomorrow out here for your party and some guy walks up to me with a glowing finger, I'm grabbing my gun out of the truck. I'm telling you right now.
I'm getting Robert Carr's ankle gun.
So Jason Aldean was in the news this week. Good for him.
Right.
He made some money off
Hey,
it. He's gonna be rich now.
What happened with Jonah Hill?
So let me.
My understanding is he's being criticized because he was sending texts to an ex-girlfriend or a girlfriend.
Oh, he seems like a stalker. I didn't even hear the
No,
story.
he ended up having he just announced he's pregnant. I mean, with a girl,
Right.
His girlfriend or whatever. Well, his ex-girlfriend came out and came out with a bunch of stuff that he was, I don't know if it was assault stuff or it was just like he was like just mentally abusing her. But then some girl that was only like 14 at the time or 15, and I can't remember the actress's name. She's a major actress. And I don't know I can't remember her name, but if you looked it up, you could probably she's a big actress, but she's like 14 or 15 at a party, and he like took her, like, wanted a cigarette. No, once again, it's wrong, but she's 14 years old at a Hollywood party. Okay, who's her fucking parents?
Right.
I don't give a shit who she is.
Right.
But he wanted a cigarette. She said she had some, and he's like, oh yeah, they're over here. She goes, well, take me to your car, come with me, or whatever. So he went out there and he just like forcibly kissed her. I should say but he forcibly kissed her.
Okay.
So that's what I heard. But some of the old girlfriend is saying stuff about him now. But it was where people were like going, well, he just announced he's pregnant. Now the old girlfriend's bringing out memories.
Right,
so
right.
is she like mad that she's with somebody else,
Right.
or now was the old girlfriend with some girl from a party? But you're right. It's some kind of
Right.
weird, like, it's just some Hollywood crap.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if he did anything bad. Maybe he did. If he did some shit wrong, then he should go to jail, I
Right.
guess. But it was a weird, like, it's just like, when I saw it, I kind of read it. I'm like, okay, it's Hollywood story. When I saw the 14-year-old girl that accused him of forcing kisses on her, I was like, that's wrong.
Right.
But who's 14-year-old girls at a Hollywood party? And
Right.
I shouldn't say who's parent because she could have snuck there, I guess, too. But I'm guessing she didn't. She was a pretty famous actress too, I thought. Because when they said it, like, oh, I've seen, so.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, so yeah, Jonah Hill was a weird story too.
Yeah.
Jason Aldean made some money this week, like we just said. Another thing here, I don't know if you saw Jimmy G pass his physical, so he will be part of the Raiders.
Nice.
Today he passed the physical. And I didn't write the name down, I forgot to, ex-Patriot player, asked about Belichick, and he is not the GOAT, not even close. But the guy was, after you read the article, the guy was cut by Belichick.
Right.
It was a big thing. He was if I got a name, he was a cornerback for him or a defensive back, so he was a good, solid, but he got cut. He was the Belichick way. We're not using him anymore. Richard Seymour was a perfect example. Belichick knows.
Right.
I mean, Seymour played two or three good more years, but it was value. We had to get value here.
Right.
And Seymour wanted a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So go to the Raiders.
Right.
Have 12 sacks with the Raiders and don't win a game.
Right.
Go ahead, have fun. So Belichick's not the GOAT, but that's what he said. Question. We'll ask that. Then we talked about the running backs. Or tight ends. Quarterback. I mean, coaches. So who do you think and I guess you have to maybe bring it down to the last 20 years, 30 years. It's changed. I mean, back in there, you have Lombardi and Dick. They wouldn't survive in this day and age. The way they coach, the way they act, and the way they were, they wouldn't survive. There's no way. Well, number one, they wouldn't survive because the first time they went on camera, they get fired for saying something wrong. Right. For sure, that would happen.
Well, they wouldn't apologize. I'll tell you that.
Let's say the last 20 years, 30 years, we talk about the best coaches, and it always comes up with Belichick's one we always talk about. Right. But let's take Belichick out. Who's the other guys you would say? Yeah,
Andy Reid.
They were great. That's one that hits me.
He's won 2, right?
But he's always been part of the equation when whose quarterback is.
Right.
He went to 4 NFC championship games.
Right.
And I would give Marv Levy a good amount of credit for coaching. He went to 4 AFC, he didn't win, but I mean, and he's one with like guys that like he had an area there with no Diamond Ave, and he stole one, and he won with Alex Smith. Alex Smith's a good quarterback, solid.
Right.
But
What
he
about
had-
Walsh? Like
yeah.
Walsh changed.
Bill Walsh, I
Bill
agree
Walsh,
too,
right.
a ton.
I mean, are we going all the way back to Parcells then?
Yeah, Parcells, but Parcells, a guy
He
you
won
coach,
what, 3?
a guy that coach your team now. Let's do that.
Because Parcells is another
I
guy
think
that
Parcells would survive.
he's bigger than the game, so he's like Belichick type
I don't
guy.
think
though.
Parcells would
Yeah,
survive
but
this day.
Parcells, he won 2 Super Bowls.
I thought he won 3, didn't he? Or was it 2?
Just 2, and he took the Jets to the AFC Championship game.
Maybe
twice.
that's
So,
what
and
it
he
was,
took the Patriots 2 Super Bowls.
Yes, the Packers. So yeah, he's been to 3 Super Bowls, 1, 2 with the Giants.
Right.
He should have lost that one though. Norwich sucked.
Right.
Poor Buffalo.
Well, and you can't put like Marv Levy. I mean, obviously he went to 4 Super Bowls, but they were in a row, so it's the same team.
Right.
This isn't over like a stretch.
Yeah.
Where like Andy Reid's won over a long period of time.
And Andy Reid, it's so much harder to win now too.
Right.
And Belichick would obviously. That's why I think Belichick should get more credit. I know he had Tom Brady, but
Yeah.
still got to get credit the way the roster always was
Right.
reinventing itself.
Oh, constant.
In this decade, in this age of football, to go that many Super Bowls and be that good, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah,
I think of the effect they had in the game too. Like I think Bill Walsh changed. Like
Well, he brought the offense, the West
Right.
Coast offense.
Right.
Everyone's some part of it now.
right. So I mean, for him, I would put him in the top 2. So
When he reinvented the offense,
what's that?
he reinvented how offense was
Right.
played.
Yeah.
At that
Yeah,
time.
I would go like Belichick, Walsh, Andy Reid. And it's hard because I mean because we have such short-term memory about the coaches that
I mean, I'm
Jimmy
not
Johnson.
a huge fan. Jimmy Johnson's a good one, but
yeah Jimmy
Because
Johnson.
you know what, he was so good that Barry Switz won a Super Bowl with his team.
right
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Think about it.
right
And that team was so in disarray that year. They
right
still won a Super Bowl. That's
Right.
how good they were. But that was part of that dynasty stuff still too, where teams
Right.
had dynasty.
yeah Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson's another one.
How about I had a name and I lost it.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Johnson because he was a personnel guy too. I mean
You like your was Shanahan and Harbaugh guys.
Yeah,
But I mean, I don't know if I put him up
I
there
mean,
in
not
that.
now, not yet. Shanahan,
Shanahan needs to win.
I'm a huge
Football.
fan of Shanahan. He's always been. Well, he won. Well, he didn't win the first one. He wasn't with Kaepernick. He didn't win that one.
No, he hasn't won a Super
No,
Bowl.
he's never won one. So,
Right.
What about Pete Carroll?
and
Yeah,
anyway,
Pete Carroll's another
I'm
one.
sorry, they didn't win.
Right.
The Ravens beat them anyway. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, you know how much people don't dislike Pete Carroll for some reason because he's just a crazy old man.
Right.
But yeah, he's good. He's a good coach.
He is
He
a
really
crazy
is.
old man.
And I lost the name again. I had it in my head.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Go. No, no.
I'll just keep spewing out awesome
Keep
coaches.
spitting out rhymes.
Right.
I'm trying to think. No, I had another coach. I was gonna say that. Oh man, I don't know. It'll come to me.
He's gonna say Buddy Ryan.
No.
But anyway, great defensive coach. And like Dave Wannstedt was a great defensive
Great
coach.
defensive coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Not poor head coach. We should do that. Like make a list of like the best defensive coordinators and what terrible head coaches.
When you would have said Belichick for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Belichick went- although you watched the Belichick thing, I think I watched.
He was with the Giants too, right?
He was their
Browns.
coordinator. He was their
Right.
coordinator, but he was the head coach of the Browns.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he left. Then went back.
Saban was I think a defensive coordinator for Nick Saban.
Yeah, he
He
might
was
have
a
been.
coordinator for I think Belichick in Cleveland.
He may have been. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? I'm
Fan
trying.
of the show.
I'm trying to think.
Was it?
I'm trying to think. The coach I can't think of. God bless it. It'll come to me in 5 minutes or something.
Right.
Pop up. So, what do you got? Anything else?
Oh, I always go.
Yeah, go ahead. Throw somebody got any other topics to throw out here. That was my last one on my page actually. I did Jets on here. Hard Knocks. We talked about that. Yeah, everything I talked about the receiver and running backs. Talk about Jason Aldean.
We can talk about the Lib Tour, but there's nothing new other than they're fucking knuckleheads. They're not going to steal each other's players, which it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
You guys don't have any what the tweets anymore?
Oh, I forgot.
No, I
to
forgot to do that.
Thank
Can I do one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do it right now.
Right.
We need to restore honor and decency to the White House.
Donald Trump.
Hunter Biden.
Close. Joe Biden.
He's in the White House.
Yeah, but he needed. That's right. This is before he went in.
Oh.
So this is
Oh, it
September
wasn't-
of 2020.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't after they found the cocaine in the
No,
White House.
or he sniffed like
And they have no idea
31
who left
kids.
it. No idea.
Oh, dude, you ever hear Bongino? Dan Bongino?
Don't they have cameras in the West Bank?
They got cameras everywhere.
They know who did it. I'm sure they do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they already destroyed the evidence. They burned it right away.
Yeah, they got rid of it. They got rid of it and everything. Oh, yeah.
Dan Bongino was Secret Service, and I can't remember if he worked for Clinton or Bush or one of those. And he says, I guarantee nobody gets in there with cocaine or a bomb or a gun or anything like that without being searched unless you're family. He said that's the only way. You would have to be close family to even get in there with that stuff. There's no way. So, I mean, he says that, and then Rogan had a great one too, where he was like, they can find a fingerprint on a cheeseburger that's been in a landfill for 20 years and get the DNA off of it, but they can't find whose bag of cocaine this is with 35 cameras right there.
It was just left in the open.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, we need to bring decency back. You know, now what are we in, like 7 wars right now, or on the precipice of 7 wars?
Are we still in 7 wars? I thought we were out of like Afghanistan.
Who knows? I'm just saying, it's like it's ridiculous, all this stuff. We're almost in a war in Taiwan. We're almost in a war in, well, we are in the war in Ukraine. We're
Right.
dropping cluster bombs now, which again,
He was against.
he was completely against them. If anybody does that, they're a criminal and they should be prosecuted.
Now
What are you
we're-
doing, Joe? We're dropping cluster bombs in Ukraine.
I was talked into it.
But we need to bring decency back to the White
I
House.
was promised ice cream.
Right.
They did it.
Yeah, I was told I could help at a birthday party.
One of the best memes is him holding 2 ice cream cones. I got 2 ice creams.
He wasn't like this.
Yeah.
like he's
Like
like
he's
a
milking
hunter.
it.
Yeah. No, so that was a Joe Biden tweet. Just
Gotcha.
which is funny.
Any other ones?
I don't know right offhand. Let me dig around here.
You got something else, Tim? Anything else?
No, we talked about the Northwestern. Oh, there was a list of possible head coaches for next year for Northwestern.
Okay.
And Paul Christ was number 1.
Really?
Yeah,
That'd be interesting.
yeah, because the program builder and never got in trouble.
Not used to not winning much, so
Right.
be perfect down there.
Ed Straight Arrow Gennaro. What
What is that?
remember that, Timmy?
No.
Necessary Roughness.
Oh yeah.
Where they
Why?
bring in Ed Gennaro to take over. It was
I don't remember
Hector Elizondo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where Kathy Ireland's the kicker and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that show. I just don't remember that.
Yeah, they bring him in because Texas State Armadillos just won the national championship, but they cheated, and
Right.
it was like
Oh,
all
yeah.
these violations. So they got to bring in the guy to
They
take
brought
over.
in Scott Bubka as the
Yeah, he's like a 31-year-old
he was
quarterback.
a Texas high school legend, and then why
I
did
think-
I
I
did
think
watch
his
his show.
dad- I think his dad died, so he took
Was it-
over the farm and
Right,
never
right.
played.
Wasn't the guy from Revenge of the Nerds in it? Nerds! Was he in it? The guy?
Donald Gibb?
Yeah, the big dude. Was he in that show too?
I don't think so. Was he?
He might
Or was
have.
that another football
No,
show?
Sinbad was on there.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
He
yeah.
was,
Sinbad,
he
yeah.
was the professor that
Right.
still had 1 year of eligibility.
I watched Replacements not too long ago.
Great movie. That's awesome.
Washington should go to the Sentinels. That'd be awesome for their football team. They're talking about changing their name.
Yeah.
Either
Not this year, though.
either the Red Tails or back to the Washington Football Club.
I like the club.
I like
do.
the club too. I liked it when they did it for that. No,
I don't like the Commanders.
I don't like the
that.
Commanders either.
How about the Washington Monuments?
Yeah.
Ooh, it's just a huge penis looking thing, a big phallus, right in the center.
Hey, no.
It's like, you know what? You ever see the Family Guy where they show the Washington Monument and then they pan over the Obama Monument? It's bigger and black.
Jesus, come on.
Hey, I'm just saying, it was
We
on
get-
Family Guy.
We get
It's,
struck by lightning with a sketch fire.
Oh, that's hilarious. And my fantasy boss tweets guy the way when he starts on fire. Oh, that's funny.
oh, I had another tweet.
Let's see what it was.
What the tweet?
The prom picture from Kenny Pickett and Cam Hayward. Have you seen that one?
No. That's awesome.
So it's like they're in their full
So
uniforms.
that must have been picture day.
Yeah, look
at
at-
camp.
Prom day.
Hey, binding with the veterans. I like it. That's good for the team.
It is good to
Yeah.
and to make, you got to be, a little self-deprecating.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially as a quarterback, you're trying to be a leader, but you also want these guys to
Well,
again buy into your system
Yes,
and what
yes.
you're doing.
And a defensive player too on top of it. It's good to have a defensive guy
Yep.
hanging out with you a little bit while being funny. That's cool.
Trevor Lawrence was good at that by buying all the Waffle House stuff, and
Yeah.
I mean that's all good stuff to do. I mean I've been on teams. Not everybody gets along, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
guys there's fist fights.
Yeah.
You get on the bus and guys try to run you. Oh wait, that was Northwestern. That did happen in college though. We were doing that 30 years ago.
But you liked it. Huh?
Yeah, it was. You just take it as you get it. But whatever.
It was free.
Yeah. Didn't have to pay for sex at college because the baseball team was always trying to hump us. But yeah, so what else you guys got?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
I got nothing either, surprisingly. I wrote my whole list up. Oh, I've been watching Quarterback on Netflix.
Yeah.
Good show. Good chance.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I
I
saw
saw
we talked about it a few weeks ago, but
Yeah.
Cousins is pretty relatable. I like him. He's a good guy. Mariota and Mahomes is Mahomes. And like I said, I think a few weeks ago, maybe we were talking about it. His wife isn't as nuts as people think. I think she's just like we were talking. She was a Division I soccer player,
Right.
so she's an athlete.
Owns the KC
Part
soccer
owner
team.
KC soccer, so women's soccer team. So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. We were
Yeah.
talking about last night actually. So
Yeah, we talked about. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Talked about there's a Wilt Chamberlain documentary on Showtime. The second one's out tonight, so I'll probably watch that the next couple of days.
Yeah, you said it was interesting.
They're very interesting. I think sports documentaries, especially for like not lost superstars, but like Wilt was one of the best ever, and like hearing his story and
what's it called?
Goliath. Yeah. So,
I just watched the Wham one from the 80s. I didn't know. Me and Timmy were talking about this last night. I didn't know they started off as kind of like a rap band almost. This is like in 80, 81. So they
Really?
Yeah, and then they had Wham Rock, which was one of their songs, but they wrote Careless Whisper when they were 18. These guys grew up together. And I watched it, and it was a very good documentary. And you start seeing George Michael. They have this persona that, they gave him essentially, and he's slaying ladies and everything, and he's a sensitive gay guy, and when you see it, you
What?
yeah, well,
You ruined the documentary.
when you go, yeah, spoiler alert. But you go back and look at it now, and you're like, how did everybody not see this? But they were trying to push this thing on Tiger Beat and all these magazines, and they do it. Yeah. And he was a very sensitive guy, and he just was all about his music, and it was very good.
Yeah.
I had a whole different feeling about him after I watched it, because I didn't know enough about him. It wasn't like I was going to Wham concerts when I was younger. I don't think
everyone either.
No, Wake Me Up.
Before you go, leave me hanging on like a yo-yo. Wake me up.
When they started doing those cheesy songs like that, and dressing in the the frat boys and stuff.
They were dancing like Carlton.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And nobody can figure out how they were so popular. They were huge.
And their Christmas song is awesome too.
Well, the
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
I'll tell you how much.
Was that a remake or their?
No, he wrote it. And I'll tell you, they tell the story on there is they weren't making any money. So they signed a deal and they weren't.
What?
So they were staying at Andrew's parents' house and they already had a couple hits. And George Michael's like, I'm going upstairs.
They're from England, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're from somewhere outside of London.
Okay.
So Andrew's sitting there and he says Jorg, because that's his real name is Jorg. He's Greek or something.
Okay.
So he's
Andrew Ridgely?
No, George Michael's real name is Jorgen or something.
Oh, okay.
So he stands up and he goes, I'm going upstairs to write a song. Walks upstairs, writes a song. A couple hours later, he comes down and he goes, I just wrote a fucking #1 song.
Who,
and it was
Michael wrote it?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And it was the Christmas song. That
great song too.
Great song.
I love that Christmas song. I'm a Christmas song guy though.
I know. And he goes, and he said something. He goes, I wrote a Christmas song. It's going to be #1. And it didn't make #1.
They come out at the same time as the Live Aid song?
The Live Aid song. And he was in
it's
it.
Christmas time.
Yep.
And actually that song's good, but
and
Last Christmas is better, I think.
Oh, way better.
But the other song's good.
And they were talking on there. It's great. Another, spoiler alert type thing. It's like he was like beside himself because he's singing on the Live Aid one, and he wanted his fourth. That would have been his fourth #1 of the year. He goes, I think that's what he goes. I just wrote my fourth #1 of the year, and it is the Live Aid, and he was like beside himself. He struggled with it for a while.
Really?
He's not right. You could tell they talk about him how he never was like validated as a person. No matter what he did, it wasn't good.
He needed stuff to be good.
He's low self-esteem, and even when he did great, it wasn't good enough.
With his parents.
Well, he never told his dad he was gay for a while. They were talking about that. His dad didn't suspect. On it. But I mean, again, his dad would have been fine with it. Probably, it would have been tough, but then whatever. It was really good. You got to watch it because it's got good music. I mean, there were a bunch more Wham songs I didn't even know.
Yeah, they're
Because I don't listen to that.
yeah, they were pretty talented overall.
Where did Timmy go? Because I got a question. This is for both of you.
Okay, good.
What else we got here?
Let's see. Let's see if I got anything else here.
I said maybe one day the White House will demand the basement bench warmers are censored because they've been demanding a lot of. You find out that they were pushing censorship on certain things that weren't saying right.
Yeah.
And I said, if that happens, that means we're just gonna have to set up 3 more chairs out here for all our listeners.
I don't have 3 more chairs, so
I know, yeah. They're just gonna have to sit on the bench back here.
Yeah. I know where Tim went.
I did see some more news too.
Oh yes.
Senator Rand Paul's Kentucky office burned down during a suspicious 2 a.m. fire like 3 nights ago.
Did it really?
Yep. All evidence points to Donald Trump because there was an American flag seen flying on a house nearby. And everyone knows 100% of his supporters are American.
Hi Tim.
Hi.
Where'd you go?
I don't know. I'm still working.
I'm sorry.
I'm still working out some of the kinks on these jokes.
You got a question here, right?
I do have a question. This is for both of you. So your wife and your lawyer are drowning. And you have to make a choice. Do you go to lunch or the Cubs game?
Who the Cubs playing?
Yeah.
Oh, where's lunch?
I have a trivia question, and it relates to the NFL quarterbacks.
Okay.
How many of the 2023 leading rushers for the NFL are signed past 2024?
Of last year's rushers, you're saying?
The team's leading rusher?
The NFL's leading rushers. Say the top 5.
Oh,
Our sign pass.
2024.
wow.
Well, I'm gonna guess it's like none.
Correct.
Pretty-
Well, I was completely silent, so I got it right too.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense.
Right.
I mean, Barkley was probably up there.
Right.
I'm guessing
Jacobs was up there.
Jacobs. I'm guessing Eckler might have been up there. No,
Yeah.
Eckler might not have been top 5. But
I mean, you go-
Jacobs, Barkley.
I keep hearing something. That's why I keep looking.
Maybe it's Willie hiding bushes.
Well, you could go down the list of even all the running backs. I mean, Fournette, Swift, Kamar. I mean, all those guys are either just got traded or
Right.
Yeah, Fournette will get a 1-year deal this year. He was looking at the Patriots, I guess.
yeah. So I mean, there's
He played there
some-
before?
Who?
Fournette played with the Patriots before?
No, he went from Jacksonville right to
Right to
Tampa.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You're thinking of the guy that played for the Eagles too. That played for.
Oh, we got that. He had the I don't know what I'm talking about. The Blunt, LeGarrette Blunt.
Yeah,
I was
LeGarrette
gonna-
Blunt.
That's okay.
I was going
He
to
went
say
to Oregon.
Freeman McNeil again.
And Freeman McNeil.
And Freeman McNeil.
When are we gonna start doing like next month? College football start, right?
Yeah, college football, NFL football, right around the corner. So that's
NBA training camps.
I mean, yeah, that starts in September, right?
Yeah, we
Oh.
definitely should talk about the midseason tournament.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next few weeks. We got to bring that up because that's interesting.
Yeah, sports is going to pick up here again in a couple weeks. So, I mean, right now you're just listening to us jibber jabbering about nothing and sausages and whatever.
Right.
But it's gonna pick up. This show's gonna get good.
And teats.
Yeah.
Teats.
Well, we're keeping it interesting. I mean,
Right.
but
We're gonna do another Milkman game, right?
I liked it.
yeah, I thought it was very good.
It was fun. Good time.
Other than the hour and 45-minute rain delay, which we're just standing around drinking.
That you guys did.
Or you were eating ice cream too?
Yeah.
Drinking was fun. I like Ecto Cooler. I had a strawberry cheesecake too last night. It was pretty good. What was the other way I had? I forgot.
And the Hazy Rabbit, which is one of my favorite IPAs.
Yeah, a couple of those.
I had the cheesecake. What was the other one? Remember the first one you guys tried? Oh, the blue
Kool-Aid.
one. The blue raspberry, yeah,
Kool-Aid.
lemonade.
Yeah.
That was legit too.
Yeah.
Sour, but it wasn't sour at all.
Right.
They had some good beers there. That place for kind of being like a walk-up window hot dog place in a way, just kind of fancy.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice, they had a nice bar in there.
Yeah.
And the food was. You guys said the food was
great.
legit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked good.
Sausage House, right? Is that the
Yeah,
name of
something like that. Yeah. We used to call it in high school. Sausage House.
Nope. They never called me that.
Yeah, I thought we were promised nuggets. What the
Oh,
fuck?
Boner Garage. That's what you
Boner
called it.
Garage.
Yeah.
That was the one. Oh, did you hear? Who's the guy that won today? The British Open, Harman.
Yeah.
So there's a great story. You gotta look it up online. I'll try and what do they tell you? What's that thing where you get the yellow book, the cheaters thing or whatever?
Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes. Yeah, that one. So he's in
You
college.
went to college.
He's in college.
I heard that too.
Well, I didn't have to cheat. I was freaking intelligent.
What you were?
I was then.
E-word.
I hit my head since then a couple times.
And the paint chips he eats at break.
4 concussions later. Yeah. So he's 5'7". They get they're in college, they're playing somewhere, they get in the car, they pull out onto the highway, car comes up right on their ass, like right in their ass. I forget what kind of car, like an Explorer or something. It passes them, takes up. So the guy that's driving's like, that's bullshit, you know. Well, the guy passes him, pulls into a gas station. So they pull in a gas station, and this guy gets out of the car, and it was Harman. He gets out. Now, he's a little guy. He said, this guy is a monster of a man. Standing there all tatted up, bald. You know, he looked like Timmy. And he says, Harman's standing there, and he said he's a pretty scrappy guy and everything. And this guy just looks at him and is like, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Cock teeth or something? Or something like, it's something like that. God, I can't think of the name now. I just lost it when I was.
Cock in the mouth?
It's like cock. It's either cockmouth or it was something like that.
Cock in the mouth.
So that was his nickname for like all of college. They kept, hey, you got to look it up. It's a great story, but I forgot
That
now.
was Harman's nickname?
Yeah, that was what it was. Because now they're calling him like the Harminator. He goes, that nickname sucks. And they're like, oh, you want to hear his college nickname? People brought up, and I can't remember what it is now.
Not as good as Boner Garage.
Boner Garage is a great nickname.
Think about how interesting golf has been this year. Like Ricky Fowler resurgence, Harman winning the
Koepka.
Oh, Koepka. Right.
Well, three different guys so far.
Right. The Live controversy, like the Ryder Cup controversy. Like golf's been more interesting probably in the last 2 years than it has been
Ever.
Besides
Tiger.
Right. Yeah.
Because now people are watching, they're just watching golf now.
Right.
Used to be to watch Tiger.
Mm.
Oh, Tiger's on Sundays in the league. Oh, I'm going to watch that for sure.
Are you?
No, I said it.
The Monday League?
No, you'd sit there. No, you sit there.
Oh, yeah.
Tiger's in the lead. I'm going to check it out.
Right.
I'm going to watch it.
Right.
You turn it on. If Tiger wasn't on the leaderboard or didn't have to win, I'm turning that off.
Right.
I'm not watching that.
Right.
But now you watch it because there's just so many characters now and guys that, they've sold with the Netflix series, and people watch that. And now they got those 7 or 8 guys they kind of talk to in that show or whatever it was that kind of made it more real, I guess, given personality. Because golfers don't seem very personable. But you see more now. They do joke around. They play pranks on each other. They I tell you what, tampon gate.
Right.
Yeah. That was
John Rahm warning the streakers not to.
Don't catch me on a bad hole.
Right. Exactly.
That was awesome.
Yeah. I love John Rahm.
The stop oil people,
Right.
whatever they were. That makes sense. Run on a sport. Run on to a where people are playing a sport.
Right.
No. Now, all those people you did it before, they're gonna really hate you now. Use more oil.
Right.
Just I'm gonna go buy oil and just dump it in the ground next time I get just because of you. People. So is that out?
Yeah,
I don't have anything else.
I'm still looking for that nickname now.
Well, let's do closing thoughts then.
Right.
Tim, closing thoughts.
Put me on the spot. Closing spot, like what I've learned.
Yeah.
How fucking funny Glenn is. That's what I've learned. We talked about this last night. Like, very grateful and fortunate to the man group that we got going on, our club. Just realizing like how much Glenn's personalities come out and get to know you guys a lot better. So, yeah,
it's a good point. Glenn's a good guy. He's fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he is.
We got a good group here.
Yeah, 15 good funny.
Now, if we can just get rid of Willie and Bradley, which is I don't know what we did this week, but whatever it is, it worked. Let's keep doing the same thing we're doing.
You had any closing thoughts?
It was C-bite for guy jumped out and he yelled, "What are you looking at, cockbite?" Is that what I said, or cock teeth?
Cock teeth.
So it's close. The guys called him C-bite.
Okay.
C-bite.
That's funny. You can say it wherever you want.
Yeah, C-bite. He hated that nickname. So
God damn it.
He'll no longer be known as the Herminator or Seabite. He'll be the champion of the year, the golfer of the Open. So he's yeah.
Champion of the year. That's what they're called at the Open.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'm a fan of that. They gotta love that Americans win their tournament.
Yeah.
I hate that. Bro.
Oh yeah. Who finished second? Day?
No, Rahm did, I think.
There's I think 3 guys were at 7 though.
Yeah.
So 3 or 4 way.
Yeah,
A lot of guys are bunched up.
Yeah. What I love about Rahm, he'll like come out, pew, 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 shoot like 65, 67, and then he'll shoot like a 73 on Saturday, make the cut, and then like yesterday he shoots at 63 at the British, default up to second, and then poop out.
He's a pretty good sized guy, Rob.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How did
I see
Scheffler
him
up
up close.
How did
He's
Scheffler
pretty-
end up doing? Did he keep a streak of top 10s in majors or no?
I don't know, because we were at Spring Valley when it was finishing up. I didn't see.
I think he's had a string of stuff like top 10.
Take a look.
Yeah, I got it. I'll pull it up right now.
I'm just interested. I know they said he barely made the cut though, so I don't know. He was struggling, but he made the cut. I thought. I don't know for sure.
That might ain't work. Oh, here we go. Let's see. We're getting there. For anybody that's still listening, Rom finished tied second with Jason Day, Tom Kent.
Day, wow, good for him.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, we didn't do our picks for it. We were here last week, but nobody would have picked Harmon. I don't think. So.
No.
Yeah, nobody would have got.
Who are you looking for? Scheffler finished tied for 23rd even.
Yeah, done.
He only made 121,000.
Hey,
Harmon netted $3 million.
How much did Cam Johnson make?
Cam Johnson,
He's like 5 under.
5 under. I don't see no Cam Johnson. Cam Young.
Cam Young, I'm sorry.
Okay, 403.
Yeah,
Good day.
he birdied the last hole to finish 5 under. I wanted to know how much.
So to jump up that one, he made an extra $100,000 essentially,
Yeah.
about 98 grand or
Yeah.
something.
$100,000 putt.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, you don't think about that when you.
No, you do. When I watch. It's funny. Like, oh, this guy gets. If he gets this, he finishes 4th. That's a big deal, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
They always make a point to say, because if you're watching it, oh, he'll be in 5th by himself.
Right.
Because that's huge. You don't split the money in the spot.
yeah.
You get all that money in
Yeah.
the spot.
Well, I'll go here at 23rd. You were even getting 121,000. 1 under was 163, so it's 40 more. Then it jumped to 187, which is only 20,000 more.
Was there a tie? for that
No,
spot?
there's a ton of ties. It was all bunched up.
Right.
Okay.
And then you go to 3 under, which was another like 40,000. Then to get to 4 under, it jumped 70,000 or 70,000. Then 100,000. Then 100. Then 500. Then 2 million. The difference is, it really starts those top few positions. It's a big jump.
In the famous words of Ricky Bobby, you aim first or last.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're going from, say, tied at 13th, where, say, Victor Hovland and Stenson and Matsuyama was at 230 to first is 5 million. So it's a big jump.
Yeah.
And only a few shots. Well, he did win big, but a few shots from
This was a few
from first to,
Right.
I wonder if they stay over there after that, do a vacation over there or something, bring their family and do a vacation after them.
not eat that shit food.
Oh, while I'm here, remember, did anybody ever talk about the bus driver for the Pirates about a month ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked
we did.
about
Yeah,
it.
we talked about that.
I wasn't sure if anybody brought that
The
up.
backup driver?
The backup Pirates baseball driver. We talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was right. Yeah, it was where that happened. Yeah. Drunky McDrunky.
Yeah, good call, Jay. That's a good
Scotchy
story.
Scotch.
You're good on stories. You pick the right stories. You're just always late.
I'm not on the show ever, but I get it on Twitter during the day from MLB rumor retweet.
That was
Just
no
comes over
rumor.
to
It
show,
happened.
No, it happened. So yeah, that's a
That's the show.
good show tonight, guys.
You too?
It was entertaining as usual. My closing thoughts are, I don't know, not much.
Sweet teats.
Sweet teats. that's all I
Roll
gotta
down
say.
the windows.
Sweet teats.
Yeah.
A roll down
Ugh.
the windows. So once again, for Tim
That's Tim.
and Ed
Ed.
and myself, Scott, thank you for joining us tonight, and we will see you next week, I believe. Thank you.
I'd shake hands, but you can't see us anyways.
Right.